Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast, December 3rd, 2024, episode 869. Giant Bombcast is powered by friendship and Dave Batista's theme song, because you yourself do not walk alone inside this pit of danger. You walk with us, the Giant Bombcast. I'm your host, Jan Shoa. Oh, God. Joining me, co-captain of the ship, we are all resting upon his strong shoulders, Jeff Grubb.
Howdy. Yeah, I'm here, and that's about as much as I can promise you on this episode. I think I might quiet quit this episode.
Whoa.
What's wrong?
I don't know if there's anything wrong.
I
don't feel like it.
Wait, we can just do this?
What's wrong with that?
We're just hanging and clanging.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just thinking, I'm gonna let these boys handle this one mostly, and so yeah, I'm here. Like, that's
right,
what I can promise.
It's okay.
Gonna make the news segment awkward.
No, we'll just like politely say, yeah, Dan, it's all on you. Newsman, breaking news here. Dan Reichert is on the case.
This just in, Vampire Survivors is good.
Wow, there it is.
All right.
Round of emails.
Okay. All right,
We
Dan.
did the news up top this week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
there
you.
it is.
Oh, there it is. There's that jingle.
Dan, what's the email address?
Bombcast@giantbomb.com.
Wow,
Yes, it is.
I got it in one.
All right. Speed about got it in one. We got the one and only, the bad boy of games media from Games Beat.
I'm
Minotti.
feeling extra bad today, everybody. Oh, that was sorry for that noise. That was just the bad blood flowing through me and hitting all the bad points. It makes me moan.
What's
happening?
Do you hurt?
Your bad points?
Look, Jeff, you said you're quiet quitting. I gotta juice this one up a little bit.
You know
I don't know if you know what that means.
What's
Look, I
happening
got
with your
this.
blood?
The bad blood, like that pay-per-view. You know.
That was like 3 pay-per-views ago.
What?
We just
Yeah,
had
I
War
got...
Games. Do you see the New Day?
Oh,
Yeah,
God. I can't wait till that happens to us.
Oh my God. Who's the big
Oh,
E?
who's the one? Who's like the sad one? Who's the big E?
Mitch, you be the big E and we'll be super mean to you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I should check the post I put up on Blue Sky just now. I remembered them just roasting me for over 5 minutes straight because I fucked up the intro to their podcast. And so it's like, no, I've seen how mean these guys can be. They just raked me over the coals for 5 straight minutes. They were way funnier about it with me, though.
Yeah, I remember listening to that and just thinking like, oh, this is so weird because I know one of them very well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really incredible piece of work last night. That was very good.
Yeah. Glad to see that a good episode of wrestling all around, huh?
It was a good one. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. Grub, quiet quitting. Why don't you feel like it today? Is it because did you have too much turkey? Did you not have enough turkey?
I mean, it's definitely part of it's the long weekend, right? The 4-day weekend, and then you get to the end of it, and you're like, well, I didn't get to do all the things I thought I was going to do, and then now I got to go do the things I don't want to do, and there's still plenty of things I want to do at work, but barely get to do some of those because we're so busy. So, it's I'm like, I'll just come in. Like another part of it is like I'm playing a game I'm not going to be able to talk about, so I'm like,
Same.
I should have made time for these other games, but I was having fun playing that. So I don't know. It's just I'm going to come in here with not much to talk about, and
It's all right.
yeah. So yeah, that's the mood that got set as we were getting started. I'm like, and you guys were having fun. I'm like, not for me.
Oh man, did you thumbs down us? Like
I might be
a
thumbs
Dave
down,
Batista.
down you. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man. I want you to powerbomb me through a table.
Real quick, I do have some questions about the weekend. It was there were a lot of movies that came out. Did you guys? Any of you guys see Gladiator 2?
I want
No.
to.
I want
have
to
not
too.
seen it yet. No.
Did you all participate in Glicked?
What?
Did not. I plan
No,
to.
I haven't
What's
clicked yet.
Glicked?
Glicked.
Jiminy,
It's the
do you
new
watch Jiminy
Barbenheimer.
Glick and then Wicked?
Well,
That's what I'm gonna do. That's how I like it.
Dan, that sounds like a better weekend than how the reviews look.
Oh, then of Wicked?
No, of Gladiator 2.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be okay.
I think that's exactly what it was. It's just okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like they're like it takes like 4 people to replace Russell Crowe, and you never want to be in that situation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the other one that came out? Oh, Moana 2. Did you ever get around to seeing that, Mike?
No, so I'm not yet because both my brothers like saw it during the week, and I just wasn't able to go. Well, one because they saw it at 8 a.m. and the other one because he didn't invite me. But no, not yet. Everybody seems to be like, it's fine. So I don't know. Maybe there's people who are more down on it than that. Made $1 zillion. There's that.
Made a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that? Well, yeah,
Number one
Moana.
animated opening of all time.
Yeah, I think Moana one's like the most streamed movie or something, right? Like across maybe all platforms because kids just watch Moana on repeat or something. So yeah, people were dying for Moana.
Do you think like the little gimmicks of the world have a positive perception of The Rock right now versus like adults that watch movies?
Are they seeing Red One?
Yes, they can't stop talking about it.
Red
Jeff,
One,
you're just telling me
Moana.
Yeah, Jeff was just telling me that his kids want nothing but Red One merch for Christmas.
Did
That's
Red
right.
One come
Yep.
out?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to kick it out of the theaters because it was causing riots because people were demanding more Red One. But it came out. It was a
They
huge
were,
hit.
Yeah.
pitchforks to get it into more IMAX theaters. So
I-
it changed the world.
At my local theater, they had replaced all of the Wicked decorations, all the Gladiator decorations with Red One decor. I just on a whim, I looked up the seats available for any Red One potential screenings. Nothing available.
No.
Wow. Yeah,
No,
guys,
I mean there was nothing but availability. So let that color your expectations.
Bonk and I have been chasing this dragon of Christmas Eve. We were in Jersey a few years ago, and we went to Cheesecake Factory. We had cocktails, then we had edibles, and then we saw Avatar 2. And we don't remember anything of that movie. We just remember having an incredible time the whole time.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And so we've been wanting to, so this year we're going to be in Jersey, and we're looking at the movies that are coming out. And we want to see Nosferatu, but I think that comes out Christmas Day, and we want to do the Christmas Eve thing like the Avatar.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah.
it looks like our best option might be Sonic 3. So we might go to the Cheesecake Factory and get high and watch Sonic 3, which sounds all right.
They start doing showings for Christmas Day releases on Christmas Eve night, though,
I
right?
thought I looked. So far, AMC doesn't have them listed or anything. So Sonic 3 is the plan unless Nosferatu opens up. So
Sonic
I haven't seen
3
Sonic. Do I need to see Sonic 2 to understand it?
not hurt.
No.
You should go see Kraven the Hunter.
What's that
That's what you-
gimmick?
That's random Spider-Man villain getting his own movie.
It's like Morbius.
Yeah, it's like a Morbius.
That's bad though, right?
Well, it's not. Listen. In your opinion,
Okay. Is it supposed to be a good movie?
probably not. No.
Hey,
I
friends,
don't think I want to see this.
do you remember that Madam Web came out this year?
Yeah, her web connected us all.
No,
This
but that
year?
came out this year in 2024.
No, that's a lie. That part's not true.
No, it
That's not a
did.
2024 movie. No.
It is.
Let me look.
It is weird that like Helldivers came out this year, right? Doesn't
That
that,
is
feel
kinda
like
weird.
another
Yeah.
era of gaming?
Infinite
God.
Wealth coming out this year is weird.
Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
but I remember it because that kind of like put
Started
a
the year.
flag, yeah, at
yes,
the beginning
like
of the year.
me too. That's where I'm at with that. But
Right,
then-
yeah. Helldivers 2 was like, because there was that big rush early in the year of like a lot of great releases like Infinite Wealth, Persona 3, Final Fantasy, Balatro, Prince of Persia, and then Helldivers. So like I kind of remember all of those happening. Madam Web, though, God, that actually came out last February. That's insane.
Yeah. It is. Do we know if Craven is plugged into that side
I think they
adjacent
all
Spider-Man universe?
I think so. I think they all are. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Kristen or Kirsten the one in Spider-Man?
Kirsten.
Okay. And who's the one who was the teenage detective? That's
Kristen Bell.
Veronica
And
Mars.
Kristen.
And there are more than just one Kristen. Like
Right.
There
so
are many Kirstens. There are
Yes.
less Kirstens.
fewer.
Yeah.
There's fewer Kirstens. Okay, gotcha. And Kristen, the teenage detective, is Anna. And she
The
was in a
one
good
from
place.
Deadwood. The one that Powers Booth killed in Deadwood. Or
Oh,
gave her concussion.
Also-
I'm never going to watch Deadwood now if they kill a woman. In it.
No,
That's
he just
sad.
like bangs on her head until she gets concussed and is bleeding a bunch. I don't know if she dies. She's a teenager and a sex worker, and he just beats the shit out of her skull.
Sounds a little sad.
Look, the show's good.
Her
Deadwood's
arms
really
don't
good.
get ripped off like that anime, Mike. So you'll probably be fine.
That's something then.
Oh God, what are you guys talking about? Also, she is in Assassin's Creed 1. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah,
Jessica
she's,
Bell was in that?
yeah, she's the reason we like found out that it was like, oh, you're actually in a computer simulation.
Yeah.
Because she like dropped that spoiler before it came out. I'm like,
Right.
what are you doing,
That's
Kristen Bell?
so weird that Assassin's Creed did the celebrity casting like only really one time and in the beginning.
They did in the first 3 because they were clearly contracted for the first 3, and you could tell she wasn't contracted for the next one because they fucking killed her. They
Killed her. And they had I don't care what they said, that had to be a retcon plot twist, or she was a Templar all along, and that's why it's okay we killed her. I was like, she seemed pretty cool to me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It definitely felt like, hey, let's save some money. Yeah.
Was she that famous? I mean, she was like Sarah Marshall around then, right?
I knew who she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Veronica Mars, so
Yeah.
She was
Veronica
not
Mars
like Buffy? Is that like Buffy?
She's not Buffy.
Why do I think that's Buffy
Supernatural.
adjacent?
because they both aired on the CW.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I want to say Veronica Mars was a CW joint.
Yes,
Gotcha.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I guess they star blonde women doing adventurous things. So maybe,
Wow,
I can see why
Dan, you
connected
can't get your women straight. That's embarrassing.
Let's put out the mic check. See how Mike does with that.
Oh God. All right, friends. How Thanksgiving was good? Okay across
was
the
good.
board.
Good.
That's good. Yeah.
Let me run this by Ed and see if this seems as wild to you as it was to me and everyone.
Are we going
in my
to the Paul
family.
Zone?
We're going to the Paul Zone.
Paul Zone.
Do we have a theme for the Paul Zone?
Yeah. Sean,
Oh,
pop
there
that
it is.
in here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So my dad, who has been on this website, beloved Paul Reichert, he has lived in the same place for 25 years, the same house, and he's been getting increasingly annoyed that when he goes out to smoke, his neighbors sometimes are coming into their house at the same time and will talk to him. And he doesn't want to talk to his neighbors. They're all very nice and everything, but he doesn't want to do stop and chats. And I told him, Dad, you have a back deck. I've said this for years. You have a back deck. Go smoke on your back deck. He's like, no, there's something weird with the door. You have to like put a wooden thing there to lock it. I don't want to mess with it. And I was like, all right, maybe you get a new door. And I kept telling him every year, get a new door. Instead, he chose to, without telling anyone, sold his house.
Wait.
What?
Wait.
This
Because
is
he had
gonna
to
get
talk to his
weirder.
neighbors?
What's that?
Because he had to talk to his neighbors?
Yes. The primary thing was he needs more solitude because he doesn't want to talk to his neighbors when he smokes. He also didn't want to get a door fixed. So he sold the house without telling anyone. Here's the other fun part. He has to be out in less than a week. He doesn't know where he's going.
What?
He didn't consider having to find a new place.
Your dad's gonna
father's
be homeless?
homeless.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's going. No, his plan right now is he's moving into an extended stay smoking hotel until he finds the next place.
What about his stuff?
He's going to put it in a storage locker.
I don't think he ever moves out of there. I think that's where he is for the rest of
That's
his life.
my
It's his
concern.
new home.
Many of us brought up this concern. He's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll find a place. It's fine. It's fine. He says, look, I won't go into super specifics and numbers and stuff. He is operating off the assumption that everything costs the same as it did in 1992. He's like, I'm not going to move into a place until it's perfect. And I want it for this unbelievable. Put it this way. When I was going to Boston with him and we were going to split a hotel, he's like, all right, find something near Fenway. I don't want to spend more than $60 a night. And I was like, that's not possible. We don't need to go to your fancy. Oh, you want to go to the Ritz or something? No, just find a normal guy hotel. And I was like, Dad, literally no place is going to be $60 a night. So imagine that to house standards in 2024.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that was a big conversation all week with him.
Did he
take back the house selling?
Did he what?
Can he take it back?
He tried after the inspection and after the contracts were signed. He decided it was going to be a whole to-do to move and told the realtor oh, I don't want to move. And she's like, you can't do that. And he's like, oh, can you just ask him if maybe we can just cancel the thing? And then the buyers got mad at him. And so that's awkward too.
Yes, of course it's a whole to-do to move. It's like the biggest to-do.
I know. He did not think about any of this.
So he did go to a realtor.
Yes, a realtor,
okay.
yes, helped himself. And he's working with one now on finding the next spot. So things are hopefully in motion. I'm keeping up with him.
I don't know. Did anyone think of just replace the door?
I brought it up every year when he would increasingly complain about this, and he would get very frustrated and be like, "Stop! That's not an option. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that." It's like,
Not an option.
Okay.
Has Paul thought about putting on headphones, and maybe that's a reason why he wouldn't talk to anyone?
No, he needs more solitude. He said.
Solitude. What is this solitude?
Mhm.
Keep using that word like he's Batman.
No, the man who has the most solitude of anyone I've ever met needs more solitude. This came up a lot. So that's what I'm dealing with.
It's kind of unfortunate because I think they moved the Ted Kaczynski house, so he can't move into that. That's a bummer for him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So, no, chat talking about how concerning. Yeah, no, we're all concerned. We
Yes.
all brought up concern. This is even by his standards, this is a crazy leap. So we're all checking in on him.
That's nice of you, but like he kind of deserves what's coming, you know?
I mean, it's baffling. It is wild behavior, and I'm trying to help him with it. We're all trying to give him some tips and stuff, but it would have helped if he brought this up with anybody before he sold
Before
the house.
he did it, yeah.
Yeah. Just I like the surprise aspect of it.
Yeah.
They would have tried to tell me it's a bad idea because it's a bad idea.
Yes. So yeah.
Oh man, Paul. Don't, Paul. Okay.
You
Yeah.
couldn't pay me. I mean, you would have to pay me because I was somebody else, but you couldn't pay me to move again. I hate moving so much.
It's the fucking
the
worst.
worst.
I hate it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Is he gonna make you like go over there and help him pack all this shit into that storage container?
I did go through. I had some boxes there from back in the day, and I helped go through a bunch and find a bunch of stuff to donate and all that. So yeah.
That's why That's why you're digging up some funzy
Oh,
stuff.
some of the stuff I was posting. Yeah. Some
Yeah,
good stuff.
okay.
Yeah, I got
That
a
makes
pile
sense.
of,
Your dad
pile of my
sold
old
a house by
VHS tapes on the
surprise.
floor behind me that I'm gonna get digitized. So
Does Paul want to move and be my roommate in LA?
I don't
Jan,
want that.
Jan, don't.
Look,
For so many reasons.
look, I'll tell you. Usually, Dan is all for your self-destructive ideas.
Yeah,
Even
that
Dan,
really
like,
says something.
Jan,
Self-destructive? What are you talking about?
that was
Do
a
not
hot
do this,
dog
Dan.
thing.
That only made him stronger, Mike. Shut up.
The quiet Jan,
Yeah.
which God intervened on to make sure it wouldn't happen.
Right, gave me a debilitating fear of a medical condition that could come at any moment.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I like
all
how
right.
chat describes it that Paul accidentally sold his house. That's like,
No, that's not an accident. You have to go through hoops for that.
Yeah. He's sending me updates. There's some leads that are maybe could be something, but who boy, we got a few days.
Oh boy, I don't like the idea. Or well, yeah, I now think of it. Jan and Paul, Drum Kid 92. Jan and Paul living together like Charlie Day and Danny DeVito. Oh, boy,
there you go. Yeah.
I feel like Paul's stories make me feel extremely straight-laced when I tell them.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely helps you on the whole being weird thing. That
Thank
like,
you. Can we
it's
run
like,
a
well,
poll? Does this help me against Mike now?
no, we ran the poll earlier. You're still losing by quite a lot, but
Shit. Okay.
yeah, they ran it after the
No.
Kirsten thing.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Look
Now
at this.
you're gaslighting everyone.
Oh, there's a new one. What is this? Oh, I saw only the first one. What did happen here? Is this after I talked about my bad blood?
Thanks, Dad.
30 to 25. Mike has won the more weird poll.
Yeah, it's a mistake. You guys are wild.
Dan
All
did me a
right.
big favor. Thank you.
Dan, right before that, Dan won 44 to 17. So something did happen, and this is like
There was a
this
shift.
is
in
after
Will-
the Kirsten thing. So
We'll check in before the emails. We'll see. Who knows what could
Okay.
happen
Yeah.
after Dan does the news because Scrub's quiet quitting this episode.
yeah, fuck it.
Boys, any other Thanksgiving tales happen?
Can't top that.
Sweet potato casserole. Holy shit.
You never had it?
I had it last year and had a similar like holy shit, but this time it had marshmallows melted in it, and it was pecans and sweet potatoes and marshmallows.
really
It's from
good.
Aldi, so it was just like standard ass stuff, but it was so fucking good. This is like
Yeah.
a new like revelation for me. I love it.
Sweet
Oh,
potatoes.
man, I think I
very
still
good.
have a piece of pumpkin pie in the fridge. I'm gonna go get that after we're done here.
I'm almost
Yeah.
done with my leftovers, which is sad. I'll have to go out into the world and eat more real food.
Oh, make a
didn't-
turkey sandwich too. Yeah, man.
I
Oh man,
love
I'm getting excited
turkey.
about leftovers again.
Not a
I was on the
turkey.
road this Thanksgiving, so I didn't have a proper Thanksgiving dinner. Do you think it's like weird if I just have one this week?
No. Friendsgivings and
No,
you
but
know,
to myself.
well, yeah, okay, self-givings. Those things
Self-giving.
you can do that any time of year.
Yeah, maybe
As long
just
as
get a
there's stuffing.
rotisserie chicken instead of
No.
a turkey.
No, Mike.
do a
I'm
turkey.
meal prepping for the month, baby.
Are you a
Yeah.
spatchcocker?
It's recent
Looks like
years
a
more of a
spatchcocker.
spatchcocker, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Because
thought
then you
would
can
be.
just get the spine for the gravy. Easy.
Right. No, it's
Yeah.
smart because you got the neck, you got the spine, and maybe the wingtips, and that's everything you need. You're good. That was my job, was the gravy. I made gravy, so that was fun. I made a roux. It stirred it for like 30 minutes to get it dark. That was fun.
Nice. That's nice. Gentleman.
Spatchcock.
Spatchcock.
The fun word.
Dan,
And what do you think spatchcocking is?
it is a method of cooking a turkey. We'll help you out there.
Okay. I'm going to give it an actual shot. I'm not playing anything up. I'm going to actually try to figure this out, and you tell me
I
how
said
close I
some
get.
words that were key words in there. I wonder if you were listening. Or
I just
tuned
heard
it out.
spatch and cock.
Okay.
So
That's the
Wow.
keys.
I'm going to assume it's a method of coating the exterior of the turkey before baking it with you take like a spray situation. It's like, you know how you can put olive oil in a spray bottle and spray it to kind of like mist things. I think it's a way of putting, like, if you want to do teriyaki or soy sauce or like a fun, like, just get spatches of it on the outside just to do a misting, just to get the soy spatches on the skin of the chicken before you bake it.
Are
This is like
spatches
not a bad guess.
are Dan, in your head, what are spatches?
Like splotches.
Yeah, they're the cousin of splotch.
What about the
there's-
cock?
Oh, come on now. Sean, you got that?
You described basically brining a bird, basically. Is what
Right.
you got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
bit-
That's a little bit
Tasting,
different than spatchcocking's taking out the spine so that the bird cooks more evenly.
yeah, you lie
I
flat.
wouldn't want the spine in there anyway.
Well, then spatchcocking's for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Who wants the spine?
Well,
Well-
when you spatchcock it, you can't put stuffing in the bird because there's no cavity
It's
anymore.
also extra work before you put it in the oven.
Got it.
So spatchcocking, you rip out the spine. You basically do a fatality to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
just think
turkey.
of Sub-Zero. Yeah. They should
Yeah.
call it
Right.
Sub-Zeroing.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, guys.
Now on.
Here's the plan. All right. I'm doing these cooking videos on the side. I'm gonna go become a cooking influencer, right?
Of
course.
And then
Yeah.
we're gonna plant the seeds. Right around October, we'll be like, "Hey guys, here's my top tips for Thanksgiving. You got to Sub-Zero your turkey," and then that's when we do it. That's when we infect everyone's minds.
Gaming
Right when you
themed
did
cooking
like the little
influencers.
posty guy pop
Yeah.
up when you do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gents, I came back from Japan, specifically Osaka.
Oh yeah.
Games, I guess. I was just gone for a while.
Yeah. So was Jeff. Everyone was gone. It was fine.
It was fine without us? What? Don't tell me that.
Yeah. Wow.
That's, some were saying, and I was like, "That you guys can't say that." Some were saying it was much better. I was like, "Whoa, come on, everybody!"
Well, then I'm loud quitting then. I was graciously invited by Capcom to visit Osaka, Japan to check out Monster Hunter Wilds. There were a couple of us. Jake Decker was included. Go check out Jake Decker's preview on GameSpot.com right now. Jake breaks down our experience there. Video is incoming. Too many real-life family problems and real-life problems that I didn't have time to work on it. But let me tell y'all, I think this is my first time visiting a studio and kind of seeing more of the behind-the-scenes type of stuff. Mocap, I don't understand how it works.
That's
I don't.
awesome.
I understand how it works in concept of like putting the little spheres on someone and having like a million cameras watching them, but in the way that technology has progressed, it is so insane because with the RE engine, what the Capcom dev team is able to do is they will have these two actors act out hunter animations and monster animations, which is absolutely insane. So like the hunter stuff, completely understand. It's a guy pretending to swing a big sword, doing some of the fun animations. They had a bunch of mattresses and crash pads around. So some of the animations are for shoot where a guy is like full on lunging, and that's great. That's cool. But then the wild part is that some of the monsters are also mocapped. So like the big bear
Guy
looking
in like
one.
a big suit or something
Did
like
No.
that.
somebody bring in their dog and put some ping pong balls on it? That'd
No.
be great.
It is a dude full on acting like a monster, and he's going for it. He is.
They got an
character.
Andy Serkis.
They
I was about
got
to
an
say
Andy
the Andy
Serkis.
That'd be a fun job.
Yeah.
It is
Oh, Dan, you'd be so good at it.
I
Dan,
think I
quit. You need to
would.
quit too, so you
right.
can do that.
That's my job.
It's just gonna be me.
Wait, this
You
is
don't
how
even
Mike
work
takes
here.
over. His coup.
I'll be working here soon if you won't quit.
But it's so funny because like with mocap and like, you know, I've seen a lot of like the Last of Us stuff where like there's like, oh my God, like we're on this emotional journey. And I'm not discounting that, right? Of the Last of Us actors going through the motions and the scenes there. But it is, to me, more impressive to see a Japanese man just scowling his face and just like snarling and growling and crawling on all fours to become a monster. It's so impressive, guys. Because then they will take these animations, and then because of the RE engine, they can like immediately throw them into the game and see how they would look
Interesting.
and make like minute adjustments. So they'll be
So the
able to
rigging
work
must
off of that.
automatically interpolate the animation data. Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
100%.
This is how they made that Donkey Kong Country show, Dan.
Really?
Sure.
Like that?
I mean,
Well,
I think
wow.
so. Just based off what I saw, I
I'll
believe
have
that's
to
correct.
rewatch it for the 18th time and with a new appreciation.
And it was really, really, really cool because they took their craft very seriously and 100% because like the same guy that was the monster immediately switched characters and switched his vibe because then he became your Palico. And it was a little bit
oh wow.
unnerving. I skied it on Blue Sky earlier today, but this guy goes from like snarling on all fours to like being like a little cat man, and it kind of now makes me feel some type of way about my Palico that it's actually a Japanese man hiding underneath there.
Yep.
It's got that in his soul, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
got the soul
monster.
of the Japanese man. Yeah.
Come on, so, but yo, Capcom firing off on all cylinders. Like that team behind Monster Hunter knows what the fuck they're doing, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a limited tour of the studio, so we saw the motion capture stuff. We had like a 5-hour demo of the game, and I'll talk about that in a second. But they showed us the audio mixing room that they mixed Resident Evil, a couple other Capcom games, and the way that they were live demoing the synths in the game to properly show off the different weather seasons was so wild, and like so much attention is put into it. Like they were adding layers and layers of like synths, 80s style synths, and hiding that underneath like an orchestral score to evoke like, all right, now you feel uneasy because now it's like the stormy season and now you feel a monster coming. The wildest part of the tour was visiting the Foley studio of Capcom. And for folks unfamiliar, Foley work is when you take a bunch of mishmash.
Dave Foley, he's just sitting in a room. Yeah.
Dave Foley, Mick Foley's there.
Yeah.
But there's like a bunch of different miscellaneous things, and like a couple audio engineers and musicians will mash a bunch of stuff together to create sound effects for movies, games, etc. But this team is so goddamn cool because they were looking at the monsters that are going to be in Monster Hunter Wilds, and they were like, you know, we don't have a real instrument or a real thing that like sounds like what we think that thing sounds like. So let's just make an instrument. And then they pulled out like something that looked like a Drew McIntyre style claymore, and it wound up being an oboe or like a trombone style thing. And Charles Hart was there, and I guess he plays the trombone. And then he was like, so do you guys like worry about like landing on precise notes? And then the kind Japanese lady was like, no, not at all. This is completely random, but we just had to make this because this is what we felt like it needed to sound like. And it looked like it was just a bunch of PVC pipes and like hoses put together. And
That's another cool job. They're like just random Capcom Foley artist instrument maker.
Oh,
yeah.
Some of those rooms are so cool. Like you'll go into some and there will be tiles, and it's like here's gravel, here's asphalt, here's sand, and like here's like you're just stomping around and making all like that stuff's cool as hell.
Walt Disney World used to have an attraction where you got to be a Foley artist. It was great. They played a short movie they made with Steve Martin Short. It was like a horror thing. And first they like play it without the sound effects. Then they pick people from the audience to go to the different Foley stations, and they got to add in the sounds, and then they play the movie with the sounds. It was a lot of fun.
And yeah, they pulled out like a treasure chest with a rubber glove and like an accordion stepper hose thing
Sounds like
Just
a Friday night to me. Come on.
Colorado night.
Yeah, it's a Colorado night. Yeah, you finally
That's what a
figured it out.
Colorado night is.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we just sometimes just futz around and make stuff just for the sake of making stuff, whether it's for this game or for future games. And it's funny because the little oboe thing or trombone thing that they made, it just sounded like, but then like because of their audio engineer, they did like a live demo where they showed us the same footage of the monster they were trying to make a sound for. And then like after maybe 2-3 minutes of editing, I was like, oh, okay, now I see what y'all were going for.
Right.
And it's so interesting that like they think about so many different aspects in terms of sound design when it comes to these monsters, because they were like, yeah, this monster is kind of like a lion comes sweeping in. There's like a proudness to it. And then, but the instrument they make sounds like, shouts out to the team. So goddamn cool.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Don't worry, vlog will eventually come out. But guys, the game, Monster Hunter Wilds, holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a culmination of modern day Capcom in a lot of ways.
100%, boys. I think it is a front runner for early Game of the Year 2025 contenders.
We can't start talking about that.
No, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can't talk about 2025 Game of the Year before we've done 2024 Game of the Year.
Guys, I only played five hours of it, but within those 5 hours, I was like, "Holy shit! Like this game is cooking." Yes, please.
What were you playing on, and how was performance? Because that was like the one thing bumming me out about that PlayStation 5 beta.
So I was a little bit bummed out when we rolled into the room because we did play them on PlayStation 5s. Performance was pretty okay. They had us play on picture mode, so favoring resolution rather than frame rate. There was still some pop-in occasionally, but performance-wise, it was completely fine. I was waiting for it to like fall apart, but throughout those 5 hours, you held up completely fine. We didn't check out any multiplayer stuff. We're pretty locked into like just solo hunting. But checking out from the very beginning of the game, we hunted a couple monsters that were available in the beta or the demo that came out a couple of weeks ago. But we had full range of the different weapons. And I was looking at all these weapons and I was thinking like, all right, now is the time to experiment. Like I got like the top minds at Capcom right here that could probably guide me, but I just went with a hammer. And I was just swinging for the fences.
Hammer's fun because you do that like just like kind of bonk, 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 bonk move at a certain point.
It was great. It was absolutely great. This was available in the beta, but you are able to take out a second weapon out on your hunts that you keep on your sacred. Your sacred is your mount. It's kind of like a lizard chocobo thing. Kind of replaces the dog that you had in Monster Hunter Rise. And I personally wasn't using it too much, but then after chatting with the devs for a bit, they were saying even if you don't like using other weapons per se, like you don't want to carry two different weapons out on a hunt. Like, say you're really tied into the longsword and you want to have a ranged weapon. You don't have to. You can still roll in with two hammers, not dual wielding, but you roll in with your normal hammer. And then say the monster is giving you a little bit of trouble. You go to your sacred, switch out, and then you have a hammer that inflicts like status effects, status ailments. So now you're poisoning a monster, you're electrocuting a monster, or maybe the hammer you went out on your hunt originally isn't super effective against the monster. So then you have the ability to quickly switch out there. The sacred, absolutely amazing. This is going to change hunts this is going to change hunts moving forward because the sacred is absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's your mount. You get it very, very early in on the game, almost immediately. And the best thing about it is that it kind of is like a safety, I need a break mode, because you just hit up on the D-pad, you call it, automatically mount it, and from there, your sacred is just kind of roaming around while you are fighting a monster and kind of like avoiding all the obstacles and avoiding all the attacks. So you can heal up, You can sharpen your weapon if you have to. You can eat a ration if you have to. Fire off an SOS flare. So you can get a little bit of a reprieve from the hunt while you're in it. Also, it has an auto feature where, say, you're in that phase where the monster is now heading to another location because you've finished fighting it in one specific zone of the map, and it's fleeing to another one.
It's a coward.
Because
It's not ready to face its death yet.
It's not ready to face death, just like all of us, right?
Speak for yourself.
I
got you with that one.
You hit follow on the sacred, and the sacred, depending on the pace you want it to, will like just gun after the monster or slowly go after it. And while you're doing that, and while the sacred is like on its auto path to the monster, you can still kind of steer around and like, oh, I can pick up these herbs, I can pick up these bugs. And then the like the little gun launcher thing on your arm is a big component in this game. So while you're riding, you can arm it and wind up like grappling different supplies. So you can get an herb, you can get honey, or like the miscellaneous bugs. It isn't like the sling bugs in Monster Hunter Rise. I did miss those, but having your sacred as a form of mobility was just so fucking great, y'all, and I can't understate it. The SOS flares work a little bit differently as well. Since we were in a single player environment and we weren't connected to a network, the SOS flares are cool because you can just summon AI companions for any hunt. And, you know, they're not going to work as well as human for shoot players, but if you need a little bit of assistance, maybe you're struggling a little bit, they'll pop in. And sometimes they are like the story characters that you are actually with, which is fun. So you'll see like characters that you're interacting with in cutscenes and like, oh, hey, you're here too. Cool. Sick. Great. They really emphasize not going back to your camp or your hub world a lot in this game. They emphasize a lot on making these portable campsites that, throughout the world, or just embarking on a hunt or a new quest immediately from your existing quest. So you'll finish a hunt and your companion will be like, hey, you want to do something else? We're out here. You want to just scour the environment, just do like a research quest, and you're free to do that, which I think is great. They've really streamlined the hunts overall as well. Like, I kind of got fatigued playing Monster Hunter Worlds because sometimes his hunts would go on way too long. They would go for like 20, 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
God.
I definitely felt that way. Yeah, I don't mind those every once in a while, but it felt like most of the ones I wanted to be doing were getting to be that way.
Yeah. These, maybe I'm just so freaking good at the game, or maybe because it's very early in the game, but you know, I MLG and everything.
Mm-hmm.
These hunts were taking like anywhere from like 8 to 10 minutes, which was kind of refreshing because of the focus system that they've added in. And I've always had a problem with Monster Hunter that there's no hard lock on, right, with a monster. Here, when you hit focus mode, you're kind of like tank controls in a way where you are only attacking forward and straight on, or kind of like auto targeting the monster in front of you. And the focus and wound system is great because say you are attacking a monster's leg a lot, and you will eventually create a wound. And if you hold down your focus mode and you hit your focus attack on the wound, you'll do a lot more damage on the monster than you would just randomly swinging at the different various body parts. Also, it's a good way to hunt and farm for specific monster parts that you need for your armor and your weapons and everything. I don't want to spoil anything, but the armor in this game, I know that fashion in Monster Hunter is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, you be styling and profiling in this game. Like, there is an early monster that I suggest, 2 early monsters I suggest once this comes out, or maybe there's a bigger a beta that you just need to go out.
There's always a bigger beta.
There's always a bigger beta. You gotta immediately fast track and complete that armor set because you look so fucking cool and out of place in this world of Monster Hunter, and then you can make your Palico look super dumb.
Yeah.
It's great. I honestly can't wait for it, and it seems like they've, even from the beta and from like the language that they were talking about, they're trying as hard as possible to streamline the multiplayer process as well, because that was a real challenge in Worlds, especially if someone was not up to date with where you were.
Yeah,
in
it was
the
just
story.
a hassle.
It was just a big hassle. But guys, Monster Hunter Wilds, I cannot fucking wait for February.
Yeah.
I mean, I can wait for February.
It's weird because I'm still always like, oh, those are games are coming out next year, but now we're in December, so next month is next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
It'll
gonna
be here
before I
soon.
know it. Yep.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for more Monster Hunter, and maybe now is the time that we'll have an actual Monster Hunter Mondays in honor of.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Now
good
is the
hunts.
time. Now is the best time.
What was the best thing you ate in Japan?
Oh. Honestly, fucking konbini, guys.
What's that?
No, that stuff's great. Yeah.
Convenience store stuff.
How far were you from a 7-Eleven?
Right across the street.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
God.
And there's another one right across that street, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then there was like we were also across the street from a Coco Ichibanya, so like just like the Japanese curry. And then like shouts out to the gang. Jake Decker was there, Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny, Charles Hart. Shouts out to my boy Charlie. And like just great time. Fantastic time eating. But Andy was very hesitant about trying out Coco Curry because he's a big fan of a curry spot here in SF. And then Jake and I were like, dog, you gotta try this. This shits all over that back at home. And we were both fans of that spot at home. And then like Andy takes one spoonful of the curry, and my man's face just falls. And we're like, oh no, you don't like it. And he was like, no. This is amazing. This is the best plate of curry I've ever had.
It's so good. It's like one of those things where you take a bite and you're like mad almost. We're just like, Jesus, how does this a real thing?
I bet it wasn't as good as the curry I had in Disney.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm here for you, bud.
I felt you seething underneath. Like, we could go to a Coco Ichibanya while we go to LA.
God, I love Coco
yes.
Ichibanya.
Please.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Please.
We haven't figured out a place for a team dinner yet, so
Coco Ichibanya. Let's go.
I would do that.
There
Yes.
we go.
If you don't know where you gonna go, and why don't you go to the place where fashion sits? Sorry, that was
Shibana. It was close enough. You could do instead of that, do the
almost there.
Kokomo. No, that's also.
Oh, that's where we
It's
want to
Coco.
go.
Ichibanya. But Japan, awesome, fantastic place. Again, like it was also less pressure this time because the gracious folks at Capcom provided like a bus straight from the airport to the hotel.
Oh, that's nice.
And like shouts out to Kyle from Capcom because he like acted as a tour guide the whole time. It felt funny because we were on like a little field trip for game journalists and games media people. And folks, I hope no one else that was on that trip is listening to this podcast.
Would never.
Which one smelled?
No one smelled. No one smelled. Everyone's
Andy?
feeling great. No,
Andy, probably Andy.
Andy's fantastic. I love Andy. I think we're the bad boys. I think we're the bad boy cool guys.
Did they?
No, that's Jordan Middler.
Of course, yeah.
That's not Jordan Middler.
What makes you think this, Jan? What happened?
They put him in a special computer in the corner with a dunce cap, and that's all.
Did you have to sign an extra waiver?
No, because like I'm not saying that's I'm not saying some like games media people ain't be swagged out or whatever. But like,
okay, you were the good influence for a good time.
no. I'm not even saying that. But this has never happened to me before, where
Yeah.
the group immediately divides into two, and one just like normal dudes, just dudes being dudes.
Shouts to the normal dudes, yeah.
Shouts out to normal dudes. We're allies with normal dudes. But then I look over at where I'm standing, and it's like me, it's Andy, it's Charles, it's Jake. I'm like, huh. And then I was like, we're the cool guys, aren't we?
Oh God!
Oh my God. And then I was thinking about this of like, this is just how we are, huh? This is just how Giant Bomb is. We were the cool guys.
What did you do? Did you go do karaoke or something?
No, they're
Yes.
smoking cigarettes.
Oh my God, karaoke!
Whoa.
I didn't smoke cigarettes. What are you talking about? I didn't mistakenly buy 20 packs of menthol cigarettes in Japan.
What?
I'm not gonna make y'all get into smoking cigarettes while we're down in LA.
Let's get
What?
into
Yeah,
smoking.
good luck with that. No, let's not get into smoking. That's bad for you.
What?
What do you mean you mistakenly bought? What did you also accidentally sell your house? What's going on here?
Joke's on you, Mike. I don't own a
He
house.
doesn't have.
Ah, you got me. You got me. You can make one out of all your cigarettes.
One of the fondest memories is going to karaoke and then finding out at karaoke that it was unlimited drinks.
Whoa. Wait, they can't do that. What do you mean?
Yes, you
I mean,
can.
anything's unlimited if you can keep paying for it. What do you mean
And those places don't
unlimited?
close. Leave this light outside, and it's a rough next day.
We only paid for 2 hours. We were there for 4 hours, but they didn't bill us for the other 2 hours.
Oh my god.
And we just kept drinking. Let me tell you, Jake Decker. I know Jake Decker comes off very well and composed. Jake Decker has the voice of an angel. You need to hear that man sing Rolling Stones. I was like, Jacob Decker. Oh my God. But then Charles Hart, God bless this man's soul, hearing him sing Popular from Wicked, one of the highlights of the trip. And then Charles Hart and I singing Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, singing that together at karaoke. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. It's great.
Are they part of the Bad Boys?
Charles is the bad boy now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been on a million of those like press trips where it's like, let's meet in the hotel lobby at 8 a.m. and we'll go over to the studio, and you go down there and you can instantly, even if you don't recognize a single other media person, it's like, oh, here's the 8 dudes all awkwardly sitting in a circle facing each other, all looking at their phones and not talking. It's like, been in that situation plenty of times. Like, oh, I think I found the crew. Okay.
Yes. We also stuck out like a sore thumb compared to everyone else in the hotel.
Sure.
Also, God.
Why?
Mike, just
They weren't
people.
wearing pants.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
oh my God.
Oh, did you get some
No.
selvage?
Okay. All right.
It's about
This
jeans.
You got some suffrage denim?
this first segment is already going on long. Okay. I split off from the group and Jake was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I need to go buy pants."
I
He's
knew
looking
it.
at my pants and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Andy's like, "What are you talking about?" Other people are like, "You're buying pants here?" I'm like, "I gotta go." And I walk 30 minutes out of the way and I get lost inside this mall because the store that I bought these jeans from that I finally got from Nikki over the weekend, they had another store in Osaka, and I was super juiced. I had a great experience when I visited them in Tokyo, and I was like, yo, your boy's gonna load up on jeans and shirts. It's gonna be great. And then I walk in, the dullest experience of my life. Everything there was all super skinny. My thick thighs could not fit into anything. They didn't have overpriced white t-shirts. They didn't have any jean jackets. I was thinking like, you know what? Alex Boniello bought a pair of Oni denim when we were there. They looked good. I'm going to go buy those too. They didn't have those. They didn't even have the cool Hawaiian shirts that I bought.
What
sorry,
did they
James.
just have like regular jeans and that's
It was
it?
just regular expensive jeans. And I'm like, guys, I'm not about this. I'm not about this.
Wow. We're gonna
And then I-
cancel Japan.
Yeah. And then I joined the group and Jake was like,
Cancelled.
pantselled. I rejoined
Really?
the
You're
group.
proud of that one? Okay.
He's proud of it.
Yeah, I know.
He's still laughing.
Yeah.
And then-
there it goes.
He's shaking. Look at him shake. You can't hear it.
Yeah.
Audio listeners, he's shaking and biting his finger.
Second guy Bubsy said you canceled. That's also pretty good. All right.
Oh, that works on
He
multiple
snorted. He
levels.
snorted.
Choking on my finger. Okay.
He's slapping his thigh now. Oh my God. His eyes are popping out of his head.
He's vomiting.
Turn into a cartoon character? The elite
Oh my God.
himself?
Now he's levitating because he smells pie chilling out on a windowsill.
Oh, there we go.
But that was Japan, Osaka, Japan. The video is going to
Fun.
come out, I swear to God.
That
It's not gonna
sounds
be
like a
the
good
train
time.
vlog.
I'm looking forward to that game, though. for
I
sure.
think we should all go to Japan together.
That would
Yes,
be
I would
great.
love that. Never been.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Y'all would, oh my God, guys, we would eat so much. But
Yeah,
also, we wouldn't spend that much.
I would not take my Ozempic that week.
Now, Mike, would you, with all your because we are the weird food guys here,
Yeah.
and I wonder because the first time I went to Japan, I remember thinking all right, I got all my weird food hangups and stuff, but this is my first time in Japan. I'm just gonna eat everything, and I was going with tempura, and I was like, just show me where to eat, and I'm not gonna do any special, none of this, none of that, and I ate
thank God.
everything, and some of it was weird, some of it was gross, but some of it was like, holy shit, I'm so glad I tried that. This is now one of my favorite foods. Would you be okay?
I don't think I'm going to be that adventurous. It's like I'll try some things.
But you're fine with sushi, right?
No.
No.
I mean, it's not that I'm fine with sushi. I don't like it. Like, it doesn't gross me out or anything. I just don't like sushi. I'd try it again in Japan, I guess, if people want me to. I just don't really like
It's like, Japan's got all the foods you get anywhere. They just make it better than everywhere else now.
Yeah, and
right?
I'm not really that worried about it. I'm sure I'll
Yeah.
find things to eat, right? Like, I could eat, because I can eat ramen, I can eat curry, I can eat the tonkatsu, whatever, right? All that
Oh,
stuff.
tons of that, yeah.
They have KFCs and Fridays also, so whatever.
I think Coco Shibani, I think you'd like a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Really fun.
man. Oh, the spice was so
curry. So
Grub,
bad.
the spice was so good there.
I know. It's like I've been laying the groundwork for we should take the family to Japan in a couple years. That's going to be a little bit tougher than Disney to pull off.
A couple years, man.
They have Kirby's there.
What's that?
They have Kirby's there.
Ooh, okay, they do have
There's
Kirby's
so
there.
many
That might
Kirby's.
help.
Be right back.
Yeah, yeah. In like 3 to 5 years is what I'm thinking. Like try to save up, go there. Steph is unsure because she doesn't like seafood and she imagines that's all they have. I'm like, no.
Yeah, they have
I don't
no,
like seafood. There's you can get
I know
tons.
that.
Yeah.
Right. I started explaining that. And now it's like, no, it's not just like different kinds. Like they really do have some of the best food in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to lay the groundwork and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Speaking about Kirby, the specific mall that Capcom brought us to, because Capcom had a store there, they had just opened a Kirby cafe.
Oh, you like that? That's
Look
so
at this.
Jan
He
coded.
cooks people in the game. I know that now because I played it with Mike.
Yeah.
That's right. We did cook people. It was
Yeah.
fun.
So goddamn cute. This was like a little
Yeah.
gotcha. It was fantastic. All right.
Did you guys do that Kirby Star Allies thing?
We did. It was fun.
Yeah, we did. Well,
Stars?
Yeah, we did. We played
Game's
Kirby while you're
delightful.
gone.
It's got a weird
Good.
control scheme as Kirby's do, but it was a lot of fun.
The double tap to run.
Yeah,
You didn't
double
like
tap
it?
Double tap to run. You got to
I'm sorry
bark
you had
out
to deal
air
with
to
that, Mike.
land. It's weird and takes some time to get used to, but it is good. I see why it's good.
Thanks for
It'll be fun
sherping them through that, Mike, and having
Yeah.
to
You're
deal with
welcome.
them. Yeah.
Speaking about games that are good, Mike Minotti, you've been playing Dragon Quest III HD 2D.
Yeah, still been playing a lot of this. This has kind of been my go-to game for the holiday weekend, right? Kind of playing it, not just like for sleepy time, but even when I get up, especially on those holiday days where I didn't really have to go and do anything, I just kind of stayed in bed a while longer so I could play more Dragon Quest 3 because it is just absolutely delightful. Especially this the kind of like fun mid part of the game where it opens up. It's suddenly like you need to go get all these orbs. There's all these orbs you need to get, and they're all around the world. And if you play the game without the kind of guiding on like how it originally is, it's neat because you sort of have to go wander around and actually explore and talk to townspeople, and they kind of give you clues or tell you where to go. And that's fun. That's how I did it when I played Dragon Quest 3 back when. But this HD2 remake does have the we'll just tell you where to go thing. So it's also fun because your world map just has all these circled locations, and you can just go there and it'll get you going in the right direction. Yeah, it's just I do really, it's not something you have too much in JRPG specifically. This kind of like more open section where it's like there's like 6 different threads you can pull on now. They're generally more go to this town, this dungeon, this town, this dungeon, and there's side things you can do to kind of break it up. But I really do like this structure. That's a big part of why this game is so appealing. And the world map is a lot of fun because it is just the world. So you are going to places like its version of Australia, right? And one of the kind of more fun ones is you go to the new world and it's, just North America, and you find a guy who wants to start a town. So you have to have a merchant in your party, and then you leave the merchant behind with him to start the town. And now every so often when you go back to the town, it's a bit more developed and there's more things to do there. And eventually that leads to you getting another orb too. Just a bunch of delightful stuff in Dragon Quest. Really, really pleased with this HD 2D remake.
Yeah, I wish I had more time to check it out, but there's too many RPGs this year.
There's
There's
too
a
much. Yeah.
ton.
That's
mean,
where
too
I'm at.
much in
I'm like
general.
I'm holding like so many half started, half begun games, half finished games in my hands, and I'm like, it's stressing me out. So I'm like, I'll just start something new instead. But and then I see something like Dragon Quest 3 I'm interested in, and then I start, I'm like, I could finish this and this and this, and I just feel guilty. So
Is Brothership one of those, or are you kind of like done with Brothership? Do you want to get back to
Brothership is one I want to keep playing a little bit, yeah, but it's not a priority, especially as we
Mm.
get closer to Game of the Year.
Yeah, not like thousand your door for you, because there'll be
Right,
consequences.
because you'll hurt me. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking about finishing off little bits, Grub, you put on here Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Yeah, I started this one up because I'm like, this is one of the ones I thought I might like
First
for Game
time?
of the Year time. Yeah, first time,
Okay.
and I'm still pretty early, and I'm like looking for the puzzles.
Well,
I'm
they're
like,
there.
Oh,
yeah, well,
Grubby.
I found like one, and then I found like a book that just has a bunch of puzzles in it, and it's like there's no way to enter the answers, so I'm just sitting there going through this book,
Mm.
answering these problems in my head one after another, and
You should
I'm-
write those down because they are of
Actually,
use
yeah.
elsewhere.
Oh, okay, all right, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm not a huge note taker. I'm not a note taker at all in life, and
Oh, God, that doesn't
especially
shock me.
when I play games. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping a lot of stuff in my head. I'm getting the sense I'm gonna have to write down stuff in this one.
Yeah.
So there is a note feature on the Steam Deck when you hit that left button.
No, use a shoot notepad.
I know.
Get it clippered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll misplace it. But I'm like, I guess I am looking for some maybe tips to like find some puzzles in the world that I can actually interact with. I got one on a wall where it's like it says order and there's a picture that's out of place, and I'm working on that one, trying to figure that one out. I thought I had a couple of good leads on that, and neither thing worked. So I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm kind of lost.
You kind of just got to poke around. Some stuff you'll quickly learn doesn't matter to you in that moment. Like,
Right.
don't worry about any of the posters in the beginning.
Yeah. And
I'm
also
kind of like
red.
moving past everything
Yes.
really quick. I'm like, well, eventually I'll just stumble into the thing I'm supposed to be working
No,
on right now.
Follow if you see red in the world. That's
Okay.
gently pushing you towards things that matter.
If it was yellow, you would have known.
Yeah, definitely. Put
Right.
some white paint on this. God damn. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I like its vibe. I'm like, the puzzles I am solving that I can't input anything for. I'm having a good time solving those, but I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, am I playing the game or not? So
It's very difficult. Like I was not able. Like I love stuff like that, and I had to tap out at a certain point. But like I very much respect what it's doing.
yeah, and that's to me that's like very enticing because these are the kinds of puzzles that I find I really enjoy throwing myself at, and I consider myself pretty good at them. So I'm like, I want to see if I can be up to this challenge, and yeah, so far it's like I'm just struggling to find the puzzles, and that always irks me sometimes. Although it's not so far here, it's like I think I'm just not on this game's wavelength yet.
Sure. The game may also be longer than you expect it to be,
I'm
Grub,
sure, yeah.
because I thought I'd made decent headway and progress. And then I look at the in-game progress, and I'm like, oh, I've only done 30% of this game? Shit.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot to it. Yeah.
Speaking about little updates, Dan, you have a bunch of little updates on miscellaneous games.
Yeah. All the way in the Vampire Survivors hole again. I've restarted it and I'm like 30 hours into it again. I'm like, oh yeah, this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. The Castlevania stuff, I think I'm at the very end of unlocking everything for that, and that level and all of the stuff that goes into it is such a like I like all the maps in Vampire Survivors, but this is one that feels like a game in itself, basically. And so yeah, absolutely loving that still. Call of Duty, also playing a bunch of that. Played a bunch with Kayla. It was real fun. Just like brought a laptop and she was on the big screen, just double XP weekend, playing a shit ton of that
I
with Kayla.
prestige in a Call of Duty for the first time ever.
I
This
prestige for the
weekend.
first time since like maybe Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 4. Like it's been a long fucking time, and I prestige. I'm like halfway to another prestige.
Nice.
That game is so fucking good.
It's really fun.
I can't believe
Yeah.
how much I like it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, the weekend with the double XP was cool.
Yeah, they added the prop hunt, and I'd always heard about that, and I hadn't really played it.
Have you
Kayla
tried
and I
it?
Tried it. Yeah, Kayla and I tried it and didn't love it. It's just like a lot of like watching
really?
people run around and shoot at barrels and cones.
Did you see the
Yeah.
clip of my brother trying to shoot somebody as a toilet for a
No.
while and missing? That might sell you on it because
Oh,
it
right.
ended up being play the game, and like this toilet's just like going. It's like they're like on opposite sides of a pool table, right? It's kind of like and he's trying to shoot this toilet as it's jumping up and down. I was dying.
Outside of that, obviously I was traveling, so a lot of Steam Deck like Vampire Survivors, Call of Duty with Kayla. And then I joined her streams for, she beat Metal Gear Solid 4, which is still just, I think, the best story I've ever seen in a game. And I saw her beat Silent Hill 2. So now I've at least seen most of Silent Hill 2. And I think I have a lot more respect for it now that I kind of understand, oh, it's more than just a spooky town. It's actually unbelievably sad.
Yeah,
Learning about, like, neither of us, like, the credits rolled and both of us were like, what the fuck was that? And then people explained it to us and we were like, oh, that's real sad. That was some pretty harsh, rough themes for a game to be dealing with. And wowzers, it seems like they did a mostly good job with that.
I think that's the response they were going for.
Wowzers. Yeah, that's the back of the box quote. You can use that for the remake.
Wow, God. I really like Silent Hill 2 remake, and as I kind of get a little bit further away from having beaten it and closer to the end of the year, I'm like, that's pretty high in my estimation for the year, actually. It's not quite like, a top 3 contender for me, but it's going to be high up there. I was really impressed with that remake.
I'm with you, Mike. Yeah.
I'm not used to the idea of like the dude I'm playing in a game being shitty. I'm used to playing games where it's like, you're the hero, you're the Doom guy, you're the cool Solid Snake, and this is like at the end of this and learning like what this guy was. It's like, I don't like this guy and I was controlling him. That sucks. Like I'm not used to that. And that was pretty interesting to see. But yeah, that dude sucks ass.
Yeah. He sucks. James sucks.
Yeah.
God, him and his stupid hair.
Yeah. Looks like a dope.
He looks like, what actor does he look like? I can't.
He looks like a Goo Goo doll, right?
He looks like a Goo Goo doll, or maybe the who is the guy in Game of Thrones, the brother, the incest brother.
Oh,
Jamie
Lannister.
Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
Incest.
He's like a
brother,
dopier
dot
version of
MP3.
that dude.
Yeah,
right?
okay, right.
Oh, you know what?
Joey
Yeah.
incest brother.
Aaron Eckhart.
MP3.
Aaron Eckhart's a great pull. Yes, thank you for smoking, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I believe in Harvey Dent. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, he's Harvey Dent too. Yeah.
God. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that game
Racial.
seems good. I don't know if I would enjoy playing it so much because I tried back in the day and I was just frustrated how many fucking locked doors there were. But then like
Really
just
hung up
watching,
on these locked doors. Like, yeah.
there's so many fucking locked doors in that game. There's so many. It
not
drove
much.
me
Well, I
insane.
mean-
I know there's much more than in like a classic Resident Evil.
Way more, like in the apartment. Like that's when me and
Actually-
my friend rented it back in the
That's
day.
true. The
And like we got
apartment
to
is
the
a lot
apartment
of locked
complex. We're like,
doors.
fuck this. Like we were gonna play it all weekend and beat it, and like we just both got so annoyed at the locked doors. And
I
stuff.
think the remake makes it pretty clear. Like, you get this key, you go to that door. I would say
Yeah.
the mechanics, like, besides all the psychological stuff, I liked the battle mechanics pretty good. The kind of ducking and weaving and dodging, and it's almost a little, I don't want to oversell this, a little punch outiness to it in terms of like knowing the tells and when you should hit back, especially because ammo is scarce, so a lot of time you are just using your board with a nail on it or whatever
yeah,
it was
you
that
are.
you have, right? Yeah, exactly. It's fun. So yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. It's not like Punch Out, really.
It's more like Callisto Protocol, probably.
It's
Yeah.
more like Callisto Protocol. But you duck and weave and you pick your spots.
Put it on the box. It's like Punch Out.
Yeah. Well, it's like that poker game Jeff bought. It's Halo with chips.
Halo with chips.
No,
Yep.
I reviewed that Stacked with Daniel, whatever that guy's name
somewhere.
is. Yeah.
Halo with chips. If people didn't see this,
Yeah.
this is the greatest box quote of all time.
What?
We decided.
Yep. Stacked.
Stat. Halo. It's not going to come into
It
focus,
says
but
it's
yeah.
like the Madden of poker. It's
Oh
Halo
my
with chips.
God.
Stacked could be the Madden of poker games. Nigel Goodman, ESPN the magazine, and then Halo with chips credited to Maxim magazine. Maxim magazine.
We
wrote
gotta find that
stuff.
article. I gotta know if there's more context.
It's
What
not
do
the
you
review.
mean?
It's not, but it wouldn't be,
Elaborate,
right?
please.
It's probably in the preview or maybe like a like they had like an E3 special with this game at E3. I guess it would have been yeah, something like that. Or it could have like even like been in like some real player media or something that they like saw the game and called it that.
Look at me,
Yeah.
guys. I'm Halo with chips. Pew pew pew.
He's
Great.
he's dual wielding Kimbo
No,
chips in his
We
hand.
need we need to stop describing for audio listeners what Mike does. It's just
Yeah, you're right.
him.
It's getting better.
Pew,
You don't
pew.
know.
Yeah. By the way, Mike still hasn't stopped floating from the pie he smelled.
No,
Yeah.
this pie smells pretty good. I don't even like pie.
Mike Minotti, speaking about things you do like, though, you have been playing Mega Man Evercade. Actually, don't know if you
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Well, so Tam got sent. I think the Street Fighter one that they came out with and talked about it, and then I was like, oh, I was looking. I was like, wait, there's a Mega Man one of these, and I like Mega Man a lot. So I just asked them nicely, and they sent me one. So that was great. And it's right over there behind me. If you're watching, what these are, they're kind of miniature little bar top arcade machines. This one comes with the 2 Mega Man arcade games, which are kind of like just boss rushes, and they can be co-op played, which is neat. It has Final Fight, Strider, Knights of the Round, and one shooty game. I always forget the name of the shooty game, like a shmup of some kind. So like the Street Fighter one's all those like fighting games. This is more like Capcom, other more actiony arcade games, which is a lot of fun stuff. I love Final Fight, I love Strider, and obviously I love the Mega Mans. So, and, playing it feels good. You got one set of, the joystick and the buttons there, but you can also connect controllers to it through Bluetooth or whatever. So you can do 2-player on some of the 2-player games. But also more than anything else, I just love it as a decoration, right?
Yeah, it looks nice.
I got the Street Fighter arcade one up, and it's just like I played it like once or twice, but it's just I got an attract screen for Street Fighter going all the time. I like that.
That's cool.
It's like anytime I'm streaming now or something, I get to pick one of these games and I just kind of let it play in the demo mode back there, and I think it looks nice. I can actually swap out the marquee because it's Mega Man right now, but it also came with the marquee cards for I think Final Fight and Strider. I'll probably just keep Mega Man in there because that's what I like. I like the arcade one-up stuff for sure, and this is smaller than that, obviously, right? But the nice thing about this is you just take it out and it's all there. The arcade one-up does require quite a bit of putting together. And for as much as you do actually play these things for most people, part of me is like, look, the arcade one-up is already a smaller version. I know it's more of a freestanding arcade thing, but I'm like, yeah, this thing is almost more convenient in some ways and gives me a similar experience, and it's easier to kind of move around and stuff. But the Evercade, they take cartridges. Like you could buy cartridges, and there's 2 cartridge slots, so I could get more games to play on
the portable
here.
thing too. The Evercade cartridges and stuff. Did they send it to you after you said you liked Mega Man on this podcast?
No, I just had to reach out to them specifically because Tam talked about getting that Street Fighter one.
I just want to try something. I have always enjoyed Mega Man. Let's just see if that works. Okay.
Okay. Good read there.
Email. Yeah.
Good read.
Yeah.
That's
I love
annoying.
jacking in.
we know. Everybody knows.
Yeah, it's on the streets.
You're fine. But no, thank you to Evercade for sending me this thing. I like it a lot. I think it's very neat.
Right.
Fantastic.
Real quick, I bought another Chinese handheld.
Of course.
What do you get? What do you get?
God.
You got me on these things.
I kind of like just did it in a fugue state. Let's see if I can't remember what it's which one
Fugue
it's called.
state. Like that thing that
saw
Bryan
it and
Cranston
immediately- I
faked.
just bought it before
Yes.
I knew what I was doing. Hang on, let me see here. I think
The
it's
second
keep
phone
right-
got found in the ceiling.
Is a fugue state like quiet quitting your consciousness?
You
Yes,
also
exactly.
bought
That's
20.
It's the Trimu brick handheld. It's called a brick, but it's
You got bricked?
Yeah, it's right. Exactly. I got bricked up.
Mike.
Oh, I see it. It looks like an analog.
Yes, and it's apparently very good. I think Retro Game Core did a video on it, and I was watching. I'm like, I want it, and then I just bought it, kind of without thinking. I don't need it.
Do I want to
you-
get bricked up?
Do
I
I
think you
want
might want to get bricked up. Yeah,
I want to get bricked.
I wish it had the burgundy color was in stock. It looked really handsome, but I ended up getting the white one. It's on its way, but most of them just like I thought I was done. I thought I was not doing this
You're
anymore,
never done.
and apparently I'm never done. So I might as well just give in and go back to my old ways.
They feel good to put together, and then you get all the cores working
All
and
the stuff
everything.
putting,
it's like,
all the
here we
stuff like
go.
just it's like a part of that is it's Animal Crossing, right? It's just setting up a world to be
Well,
in.
there's
Yeah.
different use cases for each one of these. I think.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Analog Pocket isn't like a Chinese handheld. That's like more of a like
Some
crazy.
some are like the really high quality, and you got to keep them nice, take care of them. Some
It's
you
like, I
hand
want to
to a
play through
man.
I want to play through a full game. I'm doing that on the Analog Pocket. I want to throw something in a bag, and that's the SP thing that pulls up. You are going into a steam room.
Yeah,
I'm giving you the Ambernick. You
Exactly.
know, like,
All right, you got the
yes.
jokes. Yeah. Yes. Like some are good for that, and it's like okay, well that one got a bit sweaty. We'll see how it does. But yeah, I do find myself like picking up these for different use cases for sure.
Yeah, these also make like good gifts for the
They do.
normies in your life.
Yeah, and they're like
Yummy.
relatively affordable. Yeah, I guess you could like clone like one SD card and clone it yourself, so you don't have to like buy the preloaded SD card from that's how Keep Retro does it. Like you could just pay a little extra and they'll just send you an SD card. There's a bunch of games on it, and I did do that. I do like that, but it is also fun setting it up yourself. But once you start doing it as gifts, there's a handful that are like, these are cheap and they come set up. Just get those and send them out to friends. And most people appreciate it, especially if they have the easy UI installed already.
I find a lot of them are afraid of Nintendo suing them because they'll have like every game except for like nothing first party Nintendo. So you just throw on the Marios.
That's been a
and
recent
Zeldas.
development. Yeah, they used to not care. And in the last couple of years, weird. They're a little less gung-ho on including Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
God, I'm just looking at all these dumb handhelds I don't need, but I kind of want.
Yeah, I think I'm like I'm looking for one more after this. So it'll probably be has a much bigger screen. I think we're kind of getting to that point where they're going to have like 7-8 inch screens on these that'll be relatively affordable. So we'll see.
When I see chat saying, "Oh, I wouldn't mind collecting these, except the batteries and all of them are a ticking time bomb." Wouldn't that be great if I don't use the like any kind of the gas line on my porch because I'm afraid it's going to blow up my house, and then eventually my house blows up because I just have way too many batteries from
That's
Chinese
what does
handhelds.
it.
Yes.
Oh gosh, you're gonna have to move into that hotel or whatever with your
smoke-
father.
long-term smoking hotel.
I'll start smoking, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Dan, if you need any packs of cigarettes, I may or may not have you on
Oh,
that.
okay. All right. I'll see you in LA.
Oh boy. Speaking about smoking cigarettes, you may be inclined to use mouthwash after that, just like the game I've been playing, and I beat mouthwashing.
Oh, you beat it.
How long was it?
2.5. Darren, no! Darren, come back! Thank God, I thought we lost them.
Well done, Dan.
And that's the show, everybody. Mouthwashing, I clocked in about 2.5 hours. Grub, I know you were talking about doing a stream on Wednesday and or Thursday of trying to cap off some miscellaneous Game of the Year candidates. Maybe this could be one of them.
Might add this to the list. Yeah, I definitely wanted to play this.
Is a first-person horror psychological game. You take control of a couple people on the spaceship, the Tulpar.
Isn't it also a follow-up to that fish game I played during August?
Maybe the same devs. Maybe
I'll look it
not.
up.
Mouthwashing. I really, really enjoyed it, and the story it had to tell. For folks that are a little bit squeamish and get a little spooked too easily, there are a couple jump scares, not too much in there. That'll ruin your night or ruin your day or increase your blood pressure too much. My gripes with the game, though, is for the most part, you're just going from point A to point B, talking to your crew, figuring out small little puzzles. It is the bits where they introduce now you kind of got to stealth around aspects of the game, or else you'll have to restart a level, or maybe they suddenly give you a weapon and you have to clunkily use that weapon. And sure, it's probably designed in such a way where it is supposed to be clunky, but that kind of hampered my enjoyment of the game. The story that they have to tell, absolutely batshit insane. The game is called Mouthwashing, but you are on a spaceship, a delivery ship, and you are just a cargo ship, and you're a crew of 5, and you figure out the different dynamics that descend when you kind of get marooned in space with 4 other folks, and limited supplies start to get scarce, and maybe there's some funky jazz going on in between the characters. If you were looking for a quick 2.5 hour, 3 hour scary, spooky game to cap off the year, highly, highly recommend Mouthwashing. If you're looking for an existential crisis game and you don't want to play a long game like 1000X Resist or Metaphor, and you just want to slowly disassociate in space about if this is perhaps you'll only ever measure up because of your mistakes, then I suggest
that is what I was looking
Mouthwashing.
for. All right. This is from the dev that did How Fish is Made. So if you watched that a few weeks back that we played and were interested, they got a follow up.
When you said mouthwashing, I was trying to picture what it was, and it made me think: would it be good DLC for Power Wash Simulator if you're a little dude in a gross mouth and you got to clean up teeth and like
You,
really
like-
get in there, get the
Yeah,
plaque.
like the
Honey, I
Listerine
Shrunk the
guys.
Kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, we like the
shooting
Listerine
the
guys.
gingivitis guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
run in there with some power hose, plaque remover stuff.
gingivitis. Yeah.
That might be. I don't like tooth stuff, but like I feel like that would be satisfying, right?
Yeah, I think if they do it in like a stylized way a little bit, so it's not like photorealistic mouth that I'm in.
No,
Some people
photorealistic.
like that.
VR.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put me in a mouth.
This game passed, definitely passed my screenshot test of playing through it because I kept hitting F12 while I was playing. It was like, damn, that's a bar. Damn, that's a bar.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a bar. One of them, this is a little bit late game. This won't give you any spoilers though. One of the characters is just saying, I hoped I could raise my children to be better than their old man. And then I was like, God damn it, this fucking game. I didn't want to think this hard. I didn't want to feel this hard. So I'm going to go take a quick bricky break, and then we'll talk about the news right after this. Grub, is there anything I can do to get you to do the news segment? What if I play the music?
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
that'll
perk him up.
All
Yeah,
right.
get him.
Huh?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
He's alive.
News.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's shaking the ropes like Batista.
Not
bare
like
my
Ultimate
teeth at
Warrior.
these.
No.
No, of course not. All right, yeah, we got some news here. From Software not really considering Elden Ring 2 development. From Software director Hidetaka Miyazaki says the studio is not currently considering an Elden Ring sequel. Miyazaki mentioned the studio is working on diverse projects, but didn't provide specific details. The game did very well, Elden Ring. 25 million copies sold, and it continues to sell, will continue to sell for years. They had the DLC that was very successful this year. After the DLC, I'm a little bit. It's a little bit easier to understand that because it's like, okay, now this does feel like a package that can just sell for a long time, and they don't need to rush into Elden Ring 2. I think when Elden Ring 1 first came out and it was doing so, it's like, well, obviously they just do Elden Ring 2 next because that'll be the thing that just does so well. But it seemed like it took way longer for them. It did take way longer for them to make this one than any of their other games. And I think maybe they were like, let's try some other stuff in the meantime while Elden Ring continues to do its thing. That's fine for them. How are you guys feeling about, the future of FromSoft and the games they might be making?
I still am curious, like, because can they really go back to more of that Dark Souls, Bloodborne,
Right.
Sekiro, slightly smaller scale now, or even if the next game's not Elden Ring 2, is it still something of that scale? Like, well, now, hey, it's Bloodborne 2, but it's that scale of Elden Ring. It's a giant open world now, because that's what people really, really, really liked, right? I know some of the Souls diehards still prefer that Dark Souls style for sure, but I'm not like expecting Dark Souls 4 or something like that. Or maybe they have a completely new trick up their sleeve, right? But it's very hard in this industry to scale back, right? Everybody expects bigger, and bigger, especially when you were kind of reaping rewards from that. They're in a position where they can kind of do what they want to a degree. It'll be very interesting to see what that is.
Yeah.
Do you think they could go back to Armored Core again?
They'll do another Armored Core. Yeah,
Right.
they will.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
bet they will. I mean, but even then, right? Like Armored Core 6, it's the best-selling Armored Core, but it didn't do 25 million copies like freaking
Cookies and cream.
Elden Ring did.
And Cookies and Cream,
Got
yeah.
the name for Elden Ring. all of a
Metal
sudden.
Wolf Chaos, yeah. I think they probably just sprinkle in a couple of different things here in the next 5, 6, 7 years where there probably will be something akin to a Dark Souls. They probably do go back, do something that way in the meantime while they begin prototyping the next big massive open world game, whether that's Elden Ring 2 or something else. But that'll take a really long time, and they seem to want to keep things fresh and have a game every couple of years. That's what they've been able to do, and I think they're going to kind of keep trying to do that. And I think they will set the scope appropriately, right? Like the problem is the next thing, if it's not a big open world thing, actually probably won't sell 25 million copies. But that means just scope it appropriately and know what it is, and try to hit your audience really hard. And then as you are approaching to do an Elden Ring 2 or whatever, at that point, you didn't like waste all your money expecting the next one of these games to do 25 million copies. That would be a problem. New PlayStation handheld report has been backed up by Digital Foundry now. Digital Foundry corroborates Bloomberg's report that Sony is working on a new PlayStation handheld. Sony's handheld console is still in the early stages of development and years away from release. Digital Foundry has heard rumors about the handheld for several months. The future of offering a handheld and home console option seems likely for Sony. Microsoft is also working on handheld gaming prototypes, but any potential device is also still years away. So it's like a lot of smoke here now. It's interesting because it's like everyone hears about this, and also it's very early in development at the same time. So it's not like people are like seeing prototypes. It is, no, they're considering doing this, but they must be so serious about it if everyone is hearing about it, right?
Everyone's gonna have to have one of these. Yeah. This stuff is like 7 years maybe away, but that's about the time where you're definitely gonna need to have one of these on the market.
Yeah, by 7 years, you absolutely have to have one.
Yeah. When I went down to SoCal to go to Disneyland and Universal over Thanksgiving break, at my hotel, this dude had busted out a gigantic gaming laptop and had like a controller and everything, just hanging out in the lobby. And then I was also kind of getting some quiet time, and I bust out my Steam Deck. He walks over and is like, "What is that? What are you doing?"
Boy, do you have good news for him.
I'm like, "Sir, let me welcome you to the future. This is a Steam Deck." And then he's like, "Wait, what? You can play PC games on that?" And then he was like, "Can you mod that thing? Can you put stuff in that?" I'm like, "You could put whatever you want, dog." Yeah. So I think, Mike, you're right. PlayStation, Xbox, moving forward, they're going to need one of these, like a handheld.
It's going to need one. It's going to be a SKU you have to have going forward, and at some point it might be the only SKU.
Isn't it wild that like VR was not the thing that panned out, but handhelds were?
Yeah, good call by Nintendo, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, I think I always kind of felt that way, where it's like VR is this thing that could be something, but please just give me a cool handheld. But obviously that's me. So, we'll I guess see at some point what this thing looks like. There is still a chance maybe it never does come out, or this version of it doesn't pan out. But I think that if they continue to like really focus on the PlayStation brand, they will always have a PlayStation console that goes under your TV. But there's an audience increasingly, clearly, that does want the handheld, so you have to serve them there.
But what do you think? I've been seeing even more Switch 2 rumors popping off too in the periphery here. I don't know if you've taken any stock of those, Jeff.
Yeah, there's some leaks of the Joy-Con that look a lot like Joy-Con, and there is apparently some third-party peripherals are already on sale and things like that in some areas that they think is based on official specs from Nintendo. So yeah, I mean that stuff's happening. A lot of that stuff could have been like in the works for a very long time, like to the point where Nintendo was like, "Hey, we will provide certain stuff on this date, and here it is." And then actually, no, now Nintendo is moving the Switch 2 release later, but those things are still getting ready to come out as if that thing was maybe going to launch in late 2024. So yeah, I mean they got to talk about it soon. They do. We know they're talking about it before the end of March, but
we're excited to reveal that we will be revealing the Switch 2 during the countdown to the Game Awards.
There it is, everybody.
Thursday, December 2nd.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a scoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan's really been out there hitting the pavement to make this happen, everybody.
Absolutely. I'm very proud
Good for you.
Yeah. Yep.
PS5 adds limited time PS1 boot up and customizable themes based on previous consoles. Sony has released a PlayStation 5 update celebrating the brand's 30th anniversary that allows players to customize their console design with themes based on different PlayStation generations, PS1, PS2, 3, 4, 5, and a 30th anniversary theme. The update includes features like the PS1 boot up sound in the startup sequence and customizable visual and audio options for the home screen. So you could just make your PS5 start up like a PS1.
Hell yeah.
And that rules. Yep. That is a very cool thing.
That's great.
This 30th anniversary has been pretty good.
Yeah, why is this limited time though? Like, is that going to go away? I always want it to sound like a PS1.
They should keep that. Yes.
Yeah, it's like you install that, you get it ready, and then eventually it's going to not do that anymore without you doing anything. That's weird. It feels like if you just keep it set to that, it should just keep working.
I feel like I haven't poked around the like current state of themes and stuff because I got the Pro and it made me realize like, oh, I didn't even realize like you can put these like dynamic, like it's just a bunch of like laser microchips and stuff back there, and I want to see what other options there are.
Yep. Well, now they got a bunch of based on the old PlayStation consoles. Yeah. But yeah, that 30th anniversary video they did was very good.
Really well done.
Yeah. some Bloodborne fans are reading into that because it's like,
Sure. Well, they read in anything.
yeah, and it's just like it takes persistence or something like that, and it's like they're talking about playing the game, guys.
They're talking about
Okay. All right.
You need persistence in the Souls like.
Who is weirder, Dan, Mike, or Bloodborne fans?
That'd be incredible if we turn this around so that Tam always loses.
What did they have any Twisted Metal in the 30th anniversary?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Video.
That was weird. That wasn't an Astrobot at all.
Yeah.
People
I associate Twisted Metal with PlayStation, but of course. Yeah.
Was that one of the ones that was in the credits and people think it's going to show up in some other DLC or something, like along with Rayman? I forget.
Oh, really?
But you're right. It's very strange because that's very PlayStation associated.
I mean, there was a time, like a year, probably like 1995, before Crash Bandicoot, where I pictured like, oh, Sweet Tooth is like the mascot of PlayStation, and then Crash Bandicoot was kind of unofficially that. There was
that show not too long ago that people actually liked. So yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
Club Mochi Mochi has a giant limited edition. It's actually, they say ginormous Kirby plush for $150.
How big we talking?
It's a big boy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here are the specifications. It is okay. It's 14 inches high, 28 inches
not
wide.
Gigantic. I want like love sack size.
But it's 35 inches in length. So that is that's like 3 feet. Yeah,
that's not.
It's pretty big.
It's pretty big, but you're right. It's not a love sack. So sorry.
Love sack, baby, love sack. Woo!
Yeah, there it is. All right. Players are accusing Tencent's latest game of copying Sony's Horizon series. You guys see this?
I saw that.
Light of Motoram, developed by Polaris Quest.
Every time I've Googled this game, I keep putting Light of Motrin. Getting very different results.
Yeah. Tencent? Tencent did this? This just looks exactly like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Like you would think screenshots of it are Horizon. Like it's mechanical dinosaurs, it's the bow and arrow, it's the hair, it's just like the dilapidated like American like buildings.
Like the enemies, like the robot animals, are just straight out of Horizon.
There's a bull with like the horns like just pointing a slightly different direction, and that's the only difference.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they? If you're gonna rip something off, at least do an interesting IP.
Right. Actually,
Lego Horizon.
Yes, I've decided for us that no, we should really all get into Light of the Motoram.
What if we do though? What if it just like appeals to us in some weird way?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It is a little different than the gameplay. It's got survival elements. You build a base. That stuff is not in Horizon necessarily. So, it's going to play a little bit different. But boy, the way it looks is just straight up Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It looks like it might play more like Monster Hunter, I guess.
Yeah.
So
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What if this like kind of steals all the thunder from that multiplayer Horizon game that they're working on?
I doubt it.
There's a chance that it does. I think there's a chance it does way better.
I guess there is,
because this could very easily end up being a Genshin Impact sort of situation.
Yeah.
But it's funny because at the time we're like, oh, Genshin Impact is like Breath of the Wild, and that seems so innocent now compared to this.
Right, that was right. That was like just like the flavor was similar. This is just exactly the same in terms of looks. All right, let's keep moving here. It's time to move on, says PlayStation veteran Shuhei Yoshida. As he leaves after 31 years. Shuhei is a veteran. Obviously, he basically is there from the beginning of PlayStation. He started in 1993, which is, if you do the math, before PlayStation 1 came out.
Yeah.
And he's been working there ever since. For a while there, he was the head of PlayStation Worldwide Studios. More recently, been in charge of the indie relations between PlayStation and external indie studios. And now he's like, no, I'm just moving on. And he's not retiring. He says he wants to stay in games, but just not at PlayStation. And like, now's a good time to get out, right? Where it's like, you have been there for long. The PlayStation is on top of the world. And the indie relationship has actually been repaired a little bit in the last couple of years, thanks in large part due to what he's been doing, where they were complaining a few years back, and that's sort of calmed down a little bit. So yeah, him being like, yeah, I'm going to go do my own thing, and he could do whatever he wants. So curious to see what he does next. I think there's a chance though he might end up at like NetEase or Tencent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I did. Yeah, I wanted to say like
maybe there's a reason why Tencent started putting out Light of Motorin.
Yeah, exactly. Tencent likes to hire Tencent entities like to hire a lot of Japanese developers and studios, and he's got a relationship with a lot of those people, so he would be a very valuable executive.
Yeah.
I think.
Because I mean, the other thing too is I don't know. I get wanting to move on, but gosh, you've been there forever. You must have a pretty secure position there, a pretty cozy position. I feel like one of those companies are maybe offering him a lot of money.
Yep, I think so too. Okay. Xbox says it's still blocked from selling and launching games from its Android app. Google says it isn't. This one came from Chris Scullion at VGC. I just kind of got copies of this here. Xbox and Google have provided conflicting statements on whether Xbox can sell and launch games from its Android app. A U.S. judge issued a permanent injunction in October requiring Google to open its Android marketplace to competitors and allowing third-party Android app stores. Xbox promised players that it would do that, and it said it would start like doing that in November. November's come and gone. Now Xbox says that they said a new reverse injunction has been placed that is happening because Google is they're what is it called when you have a court case and they're trying to appealing it. They're appealing it, and but while that's happening, Microsoft is actually not able to have its own app store. Google basically came back. It's like that's not true. They've always been able to do that. I think that the problem is that neither company is expressly saying is, yes, apparently Google does allow you to do that. You just still have to give a cut to Google. And what this original court case was saying is you no longer have to do that. You can go out and make your own app store, put it on Google Play, and take all the money for yourself. And that's what Microsoft is really saying that they were going to launch. So it's in this weird place. And I kind of come back to with all this stuff where I always come back to, are you guys going to care that you can suddenly buy games on your mobile phone from Xbox directly?
No, this stuff is always so much just mega corporations arguing with each other, and I have a hard time following it. And I'm kind of like, I'll let you all sort that out. I guess this seems very important to you, so you have fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't feel the immediate rush of like, oh man, I gotta buy that game right now.
Yeah, I mean, even like, I suppose if this is what I need to install to play Call of Duty Mobile in the future at some point, I'm like, when's the last time I played Call of Duty Mobile? That's like for a couple of weeks when it came out. Sure. But yeah, some people will do that. They'll just kind of find themselves ending up in this store, and that's what Microsoft wants. But yeah, this is not an exciting proposition to me personally. GOG plans to preserve Warcraft 1 and 2, even though Blizzard is delisting them. GOG will continue to support Warcraft 1 and 2 after they're delisting from its storefront on December 13th. The games are part of GOG's preservation program, ensuring that compatibility with modern systems will continue. GOG will use its resources to maintain compatibility despite their delisting. So basically what's happening is those new versions of the game came out. Blizzard's not going to be doing much with the old versions anymore. In fact, they are delisting them. GOG's saying on our side, we will handle some of that for these games going forward. Even though, I don't think you're going to be able to buy them anymore. But if you own them, we will ensure that that compatibility remains, which is a cool thing that GOG does.
Yeah, and it's weird for Blizzard to just straight up pull these things. I know they did their recent remasters, but you can let those on its own. I can't imagine that sales of these GOG versions are really cutting into the sales for their new remasters. They could have just let that enough alone. It is nice that the Warcraft 1 and 2 GOG versions are discounted right now. You can use the discount code Make Warcraft Live Forever, one word. So you can kind of buy those now if you're worried about it. I will say that Warcraft fans can be pretty particular, and they have a lot of issues with those new remasters. I was playing them, and I thought they were good. The new graphics, whatever. You can put on the old graphics. Maybe you probably should. I thought they played well, but like I said, Warcraft people have a million little issues with things sometimes, and they have a very particular idea of how things should play.
Right, and at the very least, it's like, why not maintain that if it's possible, and that's what they're doing.
Yep.
Star Wars Hunters is coming to PC in 2025. Star Wars Hunters was that Switch and mobile game from Zynga, kind of a hero arena shooter sort of thing, arcadey shooter. Had a bunch of fun-looking characters. I thought it played pretty fun on the Switch. Now, but it's expanding, coming to PC. I'm glad to see this because it's this game must be working and the
Right.
strategy worked, and now they have the possibility to expand it to PC.
Yeah, I like to try it. It kind of, we're pretty close to Marvel Rivals releasing here soon, and I feel like that might be taking over that space pretty well. But still, maybe Hunter's gonna have a little niche there.
Yeah, it's definitely like Marvel Rivals is like a big juggernaut, and this is like a cool little thing off to the side. That's definitely the case here. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is coming to Game Pass this week. Microsoft plans to add Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled to Game Pass on December 4th. It's happening a little bit slower than I was expecting. A lot of the Activision games getting added to Game Pass, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought this would be much sooner or at a more rapid cadence than it's been.
I don't know.
It's been a drip feed. I've heard. I didn't play this one when it came out, but I heard it's very, very good. So I will probably check it out.
Yeah, same. And a game like this on Game Pass would be the kind of thing like, this can do very well there. All right, last story here. Nintendo's NES version of Tetris is coming to Switch Online this month. The NES version of Tetris will be available on Switch Online on December 12th. This marks the first official re-release of the 1989 home console version. Game features 2 modes, A-type and B-type, blah, blah. Everyone remembers this. It's a shame that this was not included in part of that Tetris history game, Tetris Forever, that Digital Clips did a few weeks back that I really, really enjoyed. But at least it exists somewhere. And Nintendo Switch Online, hey, I'll play it there.
Cameos from Mario and Luigi. I feel like this is the version I played. Is this the really common one? Had the same box art as the Game Boy one?
Maybe not. 89 version.
Was it Tenjin and
Tenjin did the black cart of it?
Yeah, it must not be the black cartridge one then. Yeah, because that was the weird Tenjin carts. There's no way Mario and Luigi were in that. So, okay, yeah. Maybe it's different
I didn't know it had cameos. Weird.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's neat to get it on there, but it does feel like with NSO, like if you get one thing, you don't get another thing because the drip feed is so slow. And boy, are there already a lot of ways to play Tetris on my Switch.
Yeah, that is a good point. Where that's definitely what I was thinking when I saw it. It's like, good, finally a way to play Tetris on Switch.
Give me Star Tropics 2, damn it.
Yeah, that seems unlikely. Yeah.
Zora's Revenge. Zoda? Whatever the hell his name is.
They added a bunch of those Genesis games recently. It does seem like they're still doing stuff with Nintendo Switch Online. Part of that might just be, hey, we got to fill in some of these gaps until Switch 2 is out, and this is the way they're doing it. So yeah,
I like the end. I play these whole games a lot actually. So I go into these libraries all the time.
That's one of the things I did actually over the Thanksgiving holidays. Play a bunch of Donkey Kong Land. Donkey Kong Land 2. Would you guys, last thing before we move on here, do you guys expect like a big expansion to Nintendo Switch Online when the Switch 2 comes out, where they try to like repackage that?
I hope everything that's already available, I would hope stays available.
That will be
not like, we got to wait again for them to start virtual consoling this thing up.
Yeah, that won't happen.
GameCube's what I want. I want GameCube.
Yeah.
I don't expect GameCube. I just don't think it's happening. I think that they're happy taking those games. And if they're going to give them to us again, they are going to remake them or remaster them, like they've been doing with Metroid Prime, Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion, and Wind Waker. Right, like that's the path there. That's the kind of weird thing. I don't know if I expect a big expansion. I hope we get a bunch more games, but I don't think they're going to be really adding consoles beyond the N64.
They did DS on Wii U. Like they could do DS.
Yeah, I wish they'd figure out a way to do DS. There's some older weird consoles I'd love to see, like get TurboGrafx, get the Master System, right?
The N64, I would love to see Saturn, right? Because they got Genesis.
Saturn would be amazing, but
TurboGrafx was on the Wii, right?
We had TurboGrafx Virtual Console before.
Yeah. Probably, I think TurboGrafx does probably happen eventually. Yeah.
I hope so. That would rule. There's a ton of good TurboGrafx games. You can do TurboGrafx CD games like Rondo of Blood, which would be absolutely amazing.
That'd be cool. And then you could finally play Rondo of Blood on the Switch, right?
Was Rondo? There's the weird Castlevania collection there was the one old Castlevania collection that had all the old games, and then there was the one on PS4 that had Rondo and Symphony, right?
Yes, and that's not on Switch to this day.
Because those are just PSP ROMs, basically, from that Dracula X Chronicle. So that's why that's only on PlayStation 4. So you cannot play Symphony Night or Rondo of Blood on like a Switch, an Xbox, or PC.
Symphony's on Xbox.
Yeah, well, Xbox.
Oh, okay. Xbox 360. Yeah, my bad.
Xbox Live version. Yeah,
My bad. Yeah.
Is that backwards compatible though? Like, could you play it on a Series X?
I
did.
Yeah.
That's actually how I first played it.
It's
when I
solid
played it
one,
on
yeah.
Xbox One, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but there should definitely be a new Castlevania collection for Rondo and Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
Yeah, clearly. All right, that does it for the headlines. Jan, I'm handing the show back over to you.
I see a crude image stretched out and pasted in this doc. So I'm going to need to erase that from my memory and take a quick break. And we'll be back with the emails. Emails, bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send all of your emails to. Send an email about a question you got. You need advice about a gaming thing, perhaps not a gaming thing. Perhaps you're seeking a second opinion on something and you're coming to us for some reason. Sure. All right.
Bad move,
but we'll do it. And again, if you want to avoid a awkward social interaction, please feel free to send an email to us at bombcast@giantbomb.com. First email comes...
Real quick, when I was sitting with the other dads at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique waiting for the girls to get their hair done, I definitely considered writing an email to bombcast@giantbomb.com.
Oh,
yeah.
you probably have to be around just dads frequently that like you don't have anything in common with, right?
Yeah.
Is that weird?
I mean, that happens occasionally. It's... I need my solitude is what I think in those moments. Yeah,
All right,
I
Paul.
consider selling my house. Definitely.
Started smoking, yeah.
Yeah, start smoking and selling my house. Yeah.
Hello, bomb casters and bomb trackers. Last night, in the wee hours before I woke up, while I was drifting in and out of sleep and between the dream world and our own, I thought of a thing. I felt it both too funny and too stupid not to share. So here it is. Baz Luhrmann ranks top 5 Baz Luhrmann movies. Number 5, Sing Dance. Number 4, Musical, the movie. Number 3, Friends, Season 4, Episode 17, the one with all the singing. Number 2, Sing Dance 2, Revenge of the Songs. Number 1, Blade Runner 2049, Jade from Seattle. Or Jay from Seattle.
I need this one explained to me.
Yeah,
I also need it explained to me. I thought this was a bit from last week. Did you guys talk about Baz
Oh,
Luhrmann?
No.
No?
No, I don't remember any Baz Luhrmann.
who's Baz Luhrmann?
He did
Romeo
Australia.
plus Juliet.
Romeo plus
Australia.
Juliet.
I remember Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the Moulin Rouge?
Yeah. The new Elvis film.
Yeah.
So stuff I would like.
Yeah.
It's all in the Dan Reichert oeuvre.
Who else?
Thank you, Jay from Seattle.
Good email. Mike, what would you rate that email?
I would give it 3 giant Mike Batistas out of 7.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Subpar.
All right. That's how you
Do
feel.
we have a live email coming in?
I don't know who's doing this.
I think I do. It's not a hacker.
Someone has hacked the mainframe.
Someone we work with.
I know who's
Yes,
doing this.
yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, who could say?
Who could say? All right. I'll let this email come in then.
I'll fix that typo for you there. There you go. I got that. I got you.
Next one comes from Joshua Newfoundland. Gaming time travel mission. Good afternoon, bombers. Your mission is as follows. You have to go back in time and lead development on a successful game and have it be just as successful, if not more successful, in that timeline as it was in ours. You're going to replace whatever key figures lead development on your chosen game, but you will have access to people with skills that would be considered industry standard for the time, since I don't expect you'll be able to actually master the technical skills yourselves within the confines of this hypothetical. Which game do you choose and why? Good luck, good hunting. Josh from Newfoundland.
Twisted Metal 2.
I think that's a safe one, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
I'm going to mess it up.
Because like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, you really got to make sure that they get the physics right. And that could be it's a very sensitive thing. Like it's like you mess it up a little bit and it feels wrong.
We did one already, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to pick a game with like a ton of people in it and hope that like my incompetence won't matter, but I'm supposed to be in charge, so it might matter more, or a game with very few people in it where not like I have less to do organization wise, but there might be more expected of me. I might have to actually program something. I don't think I could do it.
The question said you don't need to program it. You'll be fine.
Well, yeah.
You have access to people that could do. Basically, you just need to be the Steve Jobs playing the orchestra, saying the game needs to be like this.
I think Steve Jobs is bullshit, though.
Oh, he definitely was.
Well, then you need to be bullshit.
I don't want to be bullshit.
I'm just saying you got to be a conductor. That's all. You don't have to play any instruments.
I would just have to be the Jaffe on Twist Metal 2, and I think I can do that.
Yeah, Tetris. I'm like, if I went back and Alexei Pajitnov, I had to like be in his position. I'd be like, I know even more so what this game needs to be like because there were some ideas that you weren't in this original version that I can help out with. So, yeah.
Maybe if I was in charge of that Killzone launched over PlayStation 4, it would not have been any less successful than it was.
Shadowfall.
Yeah.
My game higher.
No, absolutely not.
It's a hypothetical.
Absolutely not. I'm grounded in reality.
Do Killzone Liberation for PSP at least.
No. I'll ruin it. I'll ruin everything.
What about
that
Haze?
Game's special.
Can you do Haze? Yeah.
Oh, you can
Look,
haze.
maybe I could do Haze.
Okay. All right. All right. Next email comes from Andreas Nilsson Andreas in Sweden. They write in about flying. Hi. Have you ever dreamt that you have the ability to fly? I had a dream like that in my early teens, and it's still my best dream by far. If I combine all my erotic dreams so far, they still don't compare. I'm still waiting for my second flight dream only almost 40 years later. Yeah. Sad face. Have a great week, Andreas in Sweden.
You got to learn how to lucid dream. Flying's like the go-to.
What?
It's fun. Feels real as hell, yeah.
I wouldn't want to wake up, though.
Yeah, you do. Usually like crash at some point and it wakes you up, yeah.
I think I only did it one time, just like this, and I remember it was hard. It was almost more like I was kind of floating along the ground, and like it took a lot of concentration to keep. I was about to say to keep it up, to keep going.
I don't have dreams. I have the ability to fly. It's more like I've been afflicted with flying, and I can't really control it. And I'm like floating into the air. So yeah, the problem, the affliction of flight. Yeah.
Can I ask you all something?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of erotic dreams? I don't, and I feel like it's weird. I feel like I should have more.
I'm glad we all knew that you just wanted to talk about yours. So
it's like I feel like that should be like a very common thing to dream about. It doesn't happen that often.
I think we should all just be quiet and let Mike keep talking.
No, I asked you a question.
All right, next email is about the origins of the Tanuki myth. Hi, Bombcast crew. Belated happy Thanksgiving and upcoming holidays. Hope y'all's Thanksgiving break went well. Writing in based on an old quick... This is a fat email, by the way.
Oh, man.
Writing in based on
start paying attention.
Old quick look that made its way back into the Giant Bomb Infinite feed on the break when playing the original Mr. Goemon arcade game. Dan mused about just where the myth about the Tanuki having giant balls came from. Being a bit obsessed with Tanuki myself, after all these years, I have the answer. The myth comes from a mix of metal smithing history and good old-fashioned puns. In the 1971 book Knowledge About Steel, author Shigeo Okuwa describes the tale originating from metalworkers in Kanazawa Prefecture working on gold leaf. These smiths would commonly use tanuki pelts as a cushion for hammering out gold balls. Kin no tama in Japanese.
Mike's had this dream before.
I said I don't have erotic dreams.
This is a different type of eroticism, though. As a result, between the inherent malleability of gold, the smith's skill, and the durability of tanuki pelts, it was said that the Kanazawa smiths could turn even a small portion of gold into a sheet they'd spread into an area, 8 tatami mats. Add in how kintama is slang for terms of testicles in Japanese. These sheets of gold leaf became heavily associated in turn with tanuki, their size transferring to the conception of tanuki balls in turn. As an added result, tanuki became associated with wealth and good fortune, further entrenching the connection to the idea of tanuki having giant balls of its own independent a bit of folklore. As far as the statues you see across Japan, it turns out their popularity is much more recent phenomenon, coming into vogue during the post-war period thanks to ceramics craftsman Tetsuo Fujiwara, who crafted a series of tanuki statues to welcome then Emperor Hirohito to Fujiwara's town of Koga in 1951. Sorry, emailer, I forgot to write in your name, but thank you for telling us about balls.
It sounds a lot like how things get like started at giantbomb.com, where it's just a bunch of guys doing like that sounds like balls, and then suddenly that's the whole thing there. So,
You guys ever see Pompoko?
yeah, balls.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like it's Studio Ghibli just making another one of their very good animated movies, but like a central theme here is that these raccoons have balls that get very big.
Oh.
You can like stand on them, right? Yeah.
They can do lots of things with them. They turn them into parachutes quite a bit so they can fly.
Do you have dreams of this?
No.
Now that would be erotic.
Oh, right.
No, it's not erotic. It's weird.
Okay. Next email comes from Stephen KC. Hey, Bombers. I'm upgrading my computer for the first time in 8 years, 1070 to a 4070. 2 questions. 1, do you have a game that that always gets installed on a new PC? 2, do you have a go-to game you like to replay when you upgrade your PC to unofficially benchmark the improvements? Thanks, Stephen Casey.
I think we're past the Crisis era, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, finally.
it's actually still pretty fun to play Crisis on a new PC, but yeah, we're definitely past that. I don't know, because it's like it stopped being as fun, right? Because there's a certain point, games look pretty good on they still look pretty good on a 1070. Like that's the thing. So
Well, yeah, and it's like now you can just bump it down to like 1080 and still like crank everything to ultra, and it's like, yeah, that looks incredible, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I guess. So it's like it does come down to like when new games come out that really push things. It's like, okay, that's nice to have the new hardware. It's not as fun as the Crisis era, unfortunately.
I always try to make sure I have like, Red Alert, like especially with the remaster now. But all the old Command & Conquers are on Steam, so that's one. It doesn't push the polygons, but it always has to be installed,
Yeah.
Minecraft for both questions.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just get a good texture pack. Look at that thing sing.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do some more Minecraft with the RTX lighting.
Oh, I have heard people say like Cyberpunk is kind of like the new Crisis
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. For
All the
just
ray
but
tracing and
it
stuff.
also runs on anything too. It runs on Steam Deck pretty well, so it's not the same.
It's funny. I kind of do the same thing I do with all these Chinese handhelds. Is like, all right, let's get all these NES ROMs in here.
Yeah, that's honestly is like RetroArch is like the first thing I put on.
Yep.
All right, a couple more. Oh, go
Just
on.
real quick, I said the word RetroArch and subconsciously I clicked and opened it right in that second.
Jesus.
It's right.
Wow.
It's on my,
I got a buddy. Let me try it too. Let's see.
on my system bar, and
Yep.
I just
Ooh, I
without
got it.
thinking, and
Yeah,
I'm
me
looking
too.
at it.
Nice. Look at that.
Oh boy. Okay.
Do you do the blue background, the like PlayStation 3 style one?
Oh no, I should though. I do
like the
that.
X and B one?
Yeah,
That's-
the
that's
X
my
cross media
favorite.
bar. Cross media bar, a good UI.
Okay.
Clean.
This next email comes from Phil from Anaheim. Hey, Jan. I'm at some young coworker's birthday party waiting for people to arrive, and it's already past the dinner reservation time. So I'm writing you per your request instead of standing around. What's your favorite milk tea? Phil from Anaheim. Sent from my iPhone.
Is chai a milk tea? I don't know anything about tea as evidenced by the time I put a unwrapped tea bag. in a cup.
Kinda. Nah, it doesn't fit into the milk tea category, but like the
Okay.
greater genus of it, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want milk in my tea.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm me too.
All right. Dan,
So
you
fuck
got
your
it?
question.
Not
I
a
don't
big
want-
tea guy.
I don't want milk on my table at all. Get away from me.
Get away.
Sorry,
from me.
Sean. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah, get Sean in Wisconsin away from me.
I need you guys to respect Sean's culture, please.
No.
No
Uh,
culture.
Never mind. That's what the. No, I'm not going to bring that up again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Chris in Suffolk, England writes in, Hello, Bombcast. What will Mario's new gimmick be in the next big 3D adventure Mario
Inflatable
game?
balls.
Okay.
Sean?
I think everyone expects it will be an open world of sorts, but is that enough of a change for a series where every new game is based on shaking up the feeling of traversal? My theory, rideable Donkey Kong.
No. No.
P.S. My 4-year-old son has been curious about Mario games after playing the wonderful assist mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So Dan, in particular, will be pleased to hear I load up Super Mario Sunshine as his first proper Mario jump game.
Yes.
Keep up the good work, Chris from Suffolk, England.
It's gonna ruin him because you're giving him a jetpack to start with. You know, it's going to be like his jetpack list the entire rest of the series.
What if Mario rips off Astrobot?
Oh, and he gets feet lasers?
He gets feet lasers. He finds like other
not like that.
Marios.
No, if they're going to do that gimmick, then just give him Flood again. It'd be insulting to Flood.
They should do a mouse level though, where he can shrink down. Jesus, that.
I mean, that world, the big small world in 3 and 64.
Yeah, but could he just like instantly
Not on the
change?
fly.
No,
No.
exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And honestly, Astro should have a new level with that too. There should have been like 5 levels based on that.
Crazy world, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about Super Mario Brothers Wonder these days? Because I really still love it.
I like it a lot, but it's kind of how I felt going in. It's like this will be a fun little side thing,
Sure.
but it's not the next. It's mainline.
Oh, shut
Oh,
up.
how did you what? That had nothing to do with the question.
Yeah, why are we
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
that?
What we're talking
You
about.
son of a what? Oh, what does that have to do with anything?
I wasn't like, now, how do you feel about where it fits into the Mario? No, I was like, how do you feel
but
about
that is how I feel when I think about Wonder. That's how I feel about it.
It's not about the quality. You just think about its mainlineness, which should be
I
clear.
think it's a
so
good
incredibly
side thing.
mainline.
It's a good side thing.
Oh my God!
Why'd you ask him?
Yeah, move on. Because I was gonna try to have a real conversation with my real human friends, and Dan Reichert's here. I forgot about that.
I stand by what I said.
That's stupid.
Okay.
Let him go play Stacked in this podcast.
4.9 out of 10. Check my review.
It is still mostly wrapped, by the way. It's,
There we go.
yeah.
Stacked, so Balatro could run. All right, final email of the show. This comes from Rick. No, not Ricky from New Mexico. Nikki from Los Angeles. Hi, first time, long time. A couple of weeks ago on the Bombcast, I asked Dan Reichert for food recommendations in the city of Kansas City. He told me to go get Casey Joe's from County Road Ice House. I went there and I got the burnt ends. It was really good. It was tasty. I had a good time eating. I also got an iced cocktail. Nikki from Los Angeles.
Hell yeah. That's the thing. Everyone thinks, understandably, that my food opinions are to be cast aside. I get it based on many things I've said. But I'm from Kansas City. I know the barbecue. Yeah. Nikki, I'm glad you enjoyed the burnt ends. They're incredible. They're also really good sous vide. I got a new sous vide machine, and they send them to you in a vacuum sealed thing. So you just plop it in there for a little bit.
Plop them in the sous vide. Yep.
Throw it at 155, 160 for a couple hours. Oh, my God.
I should get. That's what I should ask for Christmas. Sous vide.
That'd be fun. Watch CV everything. Watch Guga. Does good videos about that.
But then you're gonna get a vacuum sealer though.
Well, sure you do. You do need one of those also. Look, I gotta go back to the Mario Wonder thing. It's chat's like, oh, Dan's getting them all so riled up. To be clear, that's not a bit. Dan 100% believes that Super Mario Wonder is not a mainline game.
He's not working us. That's a shoot.
Not working us. That's
believe
just
it's
a bad
very
opinion.
good game. It's not an insult. It's not an insult.
I know
to the
why.
Because
like in his mind, like these games have to like keep getting progressively bigger or something to him. So the idea that a 3D game goes back to a 2D game, that can't count to him.
3D World is one of the best Mario games, and it's a side one. Side is not an insult.
That is the stupidest one. That is by far, because that doesn't even make sense with your own logic, really. That one is just wild. Shigeru Miyamoto would punch you in the dick if you said that to him.
He would stomp on it. Actually, it would not in an erotic way either. His logic for that one is it is a follow up to 3D Land,
which is part of the 3D
is a
series.
handheld game, and so it's like that can't count in his mind.
But it's a different structure. It's not the big open like the hubs.
Yeah, so burnt ends are they're pretty good. Jeff, did you order mine yet?
Yes, they are on the way.
Oh shit!
Did you get them the seasoning, the fry seasoning?
I got them the fry seasoning. I was the fry seasoning is the thing you said to get. I had to do a certain amount anyhow because a certain level before you can order delivery or free delivery or something like that. So I threw a few extras in there. Yeah,
you get some sauce bottles and stuff. The sauce is incredible and everything.
Yep. And then I'm basically gonna do the exact same order for myself, and that's gonna be Christmas dinner.
Ooh. Hell yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'll have that tonight.
I need to get on the Casey Joe's train.
Yeah, just win a bet against me, and I have to buy it for you.
That is a good bet winning thing, like a fun thing that you wouldn't necessarily splurge on for yourself all the time. But yeah, that's a good one.
What if we just do that for team dinner? We just Get that delivered to LA and just eat it
Yeah. That would be great.
at,
Actually.
eat it at Nikki's house. Sorry, Nikki, I'm volunteering your house.
Yeah.
Folks, that does it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address. Speaking about Nikki, speaking about the last emailer, happy belated birthday to our own Nikki Grayson.
Happy birthday!
Hey, happy birthday.
Everyone guess how old Nikki turned.
45.
I know exactly how old
22.
I saw their skeet about it.
Okay.
I can't answer. That'd be cheating.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone at home, go.
It's
Go right
29.
Okay, come on, Mike. It was supposed to be an interactive thing where we ask people to comment and we boost engagement. Come
Jeez,
on.
Mike.
They
No, they're
said it in
not.
chat too. It's fine.
Mike
Well,
was getting
some
all worked
people-
up on this podcast. He gets
Yeah,
the
he's got a
angry guy
problem.
on the podcast.
All right,
That's
Well, I
let's
fine.
had
talk
to bring
about-
energy because everybody else is quiet quitting or loud quitting.
I'm not.
Or they don't have my bad blood hitting their bad points and getting them all worked up. I'm sorry. If you want me to be the bad boy of games media, well, here I am.
Smoke a
All
cigarette
right.
right now.
Absolutely not. They're gross.
Have an erotic dream right now.
Yeah,
Never. That, though, I don't know how.
On command.
Stacked used the Gamebryo engine like fucking Oblivion. This
They
is a weird
talked up
game.
Stacked quite a bit. Like, that was supposed to be a big
It's
thing.
Halo with chips.
I know.
God, I want to be Halo with chips. Oh, my, you
What
made
happened to Mike?
How many times did they tell you it was Halo with chips?
I think the press release was really just like, yeah, this is the next big thing.
What do we got going on for the rest of the week? It's the week before the Game Awards, folks. So mostly
So meetings.
So meetings plenty. If you haven't heard by now, we somehow have been entrusted to do the pre-countdown Game of the Awards stream before the proper Game Awards. So these two hooligans will be talking to people on the streets. I'll be running around with stuff, an IFB in my ear, IFBs in their ears. Tam Lucy will be handling the main stage along with Emma. That's why Bacalar's been his brow has been so furrowed because he's in so many meetings
Extra
because of
furrowed
this.
Brow. Yeah.
Also, GB at night next week. We're doing one night. We're bringing the couch back. Look forward to fun segments.
It'll be good.
Shouts out to Wendy. Everyone throw some dubs in the chat for Wendy. She'll never see this, but hey, just do it for me. This week
Wendy.
we doing Blake Club.
I'll have to check with Lucy. I would love to.
Hey, Dan,
Okay.
what was up with last Monday when all of a sudden you're like, guys, we're doing Black Club in 5 minutes, just making sure you're good. And I was like, what? No, I'm not good for that.
I think it's because I live and die by the calendar. And so I just wake up every day. I'm like, what am I doing today? And I look at the calendar and I woke up on Monday and I had a Blake Club thing there. And I was like, oh, I guess we're doing that.
Who put that on the calendar? I never even saw it.
I don't know. I had accept on it. So I figured that's what I was doing.
I was so confused. Like, what? No, I can't do Blake Club. Right? Like, the site page was already live. You're like, Lucy's getting suited up right now.
I don't know.
And I was like,
I just look at the calendar and do what it tells me.
Probably a voicemail dump truck. Grub game mess. Yes.
Yep. Game mess for the rest of this week.
Maybe we'll do Marvel Rivals for UPF.
oh, shit.
Sure, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I realize there is an ultimatum. Chat's reminding me here. Alex Navarro, the god of Blake Club, did give an ultimatum that if I don't start my Blake Club game by the second Tuesday in January, I'm getting a third game attached to my thing. So we got to get Lucy suited up.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Okay. Okay. I told him it's kind of out of my control, but he didn't seem to care. And who am I to argue with the
Again,
god of
your
Blake
problem.
Club?
Yeah. Also, we got stuff planned for Game of the Year, folks. Do not worry.
Well, some fun with that too.
No big stage show, but we will be having fun with that. What we learned today, I didn't learn squat. I didn't retain
Fucking
any
nothing.
information today because I forgot how to podcast, folks. Did I hit record? I did hit record. But that about does it for the Giant Bomb cast this week. Oh gosh, should we pre-record next week's podcast? Because we'll be traveling on Tuesday.
we're gonna be gone. Yeah.
Should we just do a
Traveling
Monday?
Tuesday, right? So I guess we can just record it Monday.
Do a Monday Jimmy Jam?
They just do it Monday again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. God, this week is going to be so busy. Next week is going to be so
The
busy.
rest of the year.
the rest of the year is going to be. Well, after next week, I feel like it's going to slowly.
Yeah, if we get on the other side of
down.
our work in LA, we can maybe have a breather.
Or we do a Tuesday mini from my hotel room. Those are
I
always
love
fun.
those. Those are fun.
Those are always fun. Yeah. Specifically has to be my hotel room for whatever reason. But we watch movies in either Bacala or Mike's hotel room.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
What are we going to make Mike watch this time?
I hope I get COVID again. This time I give it to all of you.
Well, there was something
Not
we
just
made him do
Jeff.
MacGruber in Face Off. There was something that he hasn't seen. Oh, Noobs he hasn't seen.
No, he hasn't seen
Shut the
Noobs.
hell up.
He hasn't seen Noobs in the Noobs Hole, which is the only way to really watch it.
did-
I'm the authority on that.
Yeah, you are.
Was it the pickle draft or something that was showing the noob soul? And I just had to like message Dan. I'm like, Dan, I want you to know the noob soul was such a good idea. I'm very, very impressed by the
I don't have
execution of
such
Noob Soul.
warm thoughts about it personally.
Yeah, Grub, not as much.
Yeah.
Folks, that about does it. We'll see you next week, probably
Okay.
for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. He's been Dan, he's been Mike, and he's been bad, and he's been Grub. I've been Jan. You have been beautiful.
Watch Last of the Nintendogs tonight.
You can't plug stuff on this show.
Christian
He
told
can.
me to.
What
Christian
the
said I
fuck?
had to. I don't want Christian mad at me.
Christian
I
told you
guess.
to walk off a bridge. Would you walk off a bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, Christian, go tell him not to walk off a bridge.
You'd be so sad if I did that.
Well, what if it was like a small bridge, though? Like, you wouldn't be in any
I get
danger.
pretty hurts though. I just fell over and broke my wrist when I was skating. If there was like a height involved, I'd die.
Mike, I didn't want to send this to our little Discord, but after that 5 hours playing with the DualSense controller, my wrist hurt, and I did eat a banana that morning, so I didn't want to,
Telling you all, that's your problem.
my baby wrist because of
Yes,
fruit.
That's- all
Scurvy
that-
makes the DualSense feel better. Yeah.
All the fruit
We're
is
going
hurting
to
your
Coco
bones.
Ichibana next week. See
Yeah.
ya!
Bye.